All right. Once again, good morning and welcome everybody to today's town hall meeting. We are very, very excited to have you all here. We are looking forward to getting to know a lot of you during this town hall. We know we have limited time, so we'll get to know a lot more of you during the training itself. If you're here today, that means you've taken the first bold step in order to change your career trajectory in order to go into a new career. So we're very excited about that. The next thing is today is our new student orientation. What that simply means is that we do this every time we are about to get new students into the training. That's what this is all about. And the reason why we do this is because there's a lot of people who always have questions, who always want to know what the training is about, what JoinIT Solutions is about, and all that. So today we are doing this against the class that is starting for January 2023. We are going to have a C8 class that is starting January 2023. And then we are going to have one for the College of Technology in the University of Buea, Cameroon, which starts in February 2023. So please pay attention as we go through this webinar today. Next slide, please, Brian. Perfect. So the next question now that a lot of you probably have is, who should be on this webinar? Am I in the right place? Should I be here today? Absolutely. The target audience of this webinar, first of all, is absolute beginners with no knowledge in IT. You are going to hear from many people today, men, women, children, old people, young people who have told you how they have gone through JoinIT Solutions and they have been able to make a complete career change. And what is the best part about it all? 90% of them started with no knowledge in IT. So if you're here and you don't even know how to turn on a computer, maybe you were even having issues just to get on this Zoom call, you might begin to fear and think that, oh, this is not for me. This is for you. Next thing is individuals looking at starting a career in IT. We have a lot of people here, lawyers, doctors, hairdressers. We have people with all walks of life who are looking to start a new career, who are gravitating towards the IT world. This webinar today is for you. We also have people here today who are already IT professionals. A lot of people call me sometimes, hey, you know what? I'm looking for this SQL Server to add to what I already do at my job site. You know, I work as desktop support at my job site, so I'm looking to go further in my IT career. If you are IT professional looking to gain more skills, this is for you. Anyone looking for a career switch, we've talked about this as well, right? Say today you're working as a nurse, say you're working as a lab technician, you're looking to make the switch. This is absolutely for you. And last but not the least, the parents that are looking at gaining knowledge to orientate their children. Listen, we are no longer in the days where it used to be, hey, you know what? When you go, you must go to university, spend all this amount of money just to come and go and read something that is not really going to help you. Parents are sitting here having 15, 16, already wondering to themselves, what will my child study after this? This here today is exactly for you. Now, I would like to call on someone, somebody who was here just 6 months ago in this same position where you're sitting, and she has a very, very interesting story to tell. Vera, are you there?
Yeah, Prof. I'm here.
Wonderful. Vera, please, I'd like you to go ahead and tell us your story, how you were here 6 months ago and where you are now.
Well, thank you so much, Prof. Allen. Thank you again, Prof. Brian, and everybody. I just want to say welcome to your last bus stop of whatever you're looking for career-wise. Of course, I've been looking forward to an opportunity like this, to air out, one of those decisions that I had to make in my life at some point. And this is an opportunity for me to, impact somebody's life positively. 6 months ago, is it 6 or 7 months ago, I also attended an orientation like this because I was at a point in my life where I wanted a career switch. I had been in the transportation and logistics business for quite some time, and it was proven to be very vulnerable. And I wanted a spot where I could get in and then build a career. And I reached out to a friend who was already taking classes. He was still in school at that time, but he spoke so well of JoinIT, and he guided me up towards attending this orientation. I attended the orientation, and my mind was made up during the orientation. Not even after the orientation, but just listening to students who had graduated from here, who were building beautiful IT careers. My mind was made up, and I didn't think twice. I joined the train. I started the training. I must say, at some points, it can be very challenging. If I tell you at some points I didn't think of giving up, maybe I said sometimes to myself, maybe I should just go back to whatever I was doing. I was already quite comfortable there. But then I had to remind myself of why I made this decision in the first place. Another thing is, JoinIT is not just a school. It's not just a group of people. It's a community. I'm saying this now, somebody might take it lightly, but trust me, once you've made up your mind to join this train, you understand what I'm talking about. It's a community of people who derive happiness, joy in seeing you succeed. There is never a day that you'll have a challenge and at least 5 people will not be behind you to help you out. I wanted to give up. People called me and told me, Vera, we have a saying at JoinIT, giving up is not an option. Even until this time, 2 days ago, somebody was still telling me, Vera, giving up is not an option. And I am so happy I'm here today. So what I did basically was I took my classes serious. I attended, if not 100% of my classes, I attended 98% of my classes. I participated in all my group studies because JoinIT, they understand where we are coming from. They take you from, like a baby. They give you baby steps and they guide you until you can stand on your own. Even when you stand, they don't leave you. They guide you for you to enter into school. They will guide you while you are in school. They will guide you when you graduate and you're looking for a job. They will even still be with you once you get that job because you need to solidify your feet in your job. And this is the beauty of this community that we're talking about. One thing I will say is nothing good comes easy. You have to forego some few things in your life. You probably have to reduce your hours of sleep. You have to reduce your hours of sleep because it's a lot. It can be challenging, but you give yourself, the challenge. You tell yourself, why did I even want to do this in the first place? You will, forgo some friends for some time. It's for a reason. You have a goal that you need to reach. You will work harder than you've ever done in your life. You will find yourself sitting up all night until 4 a.m. Meanwhile, you have to go to work at 7 a.m. These are some of the things that you would do. I would advise, anyone, take your classes serious, attend all your group studies, take every advice from the mentors and the instructors serious. Bet me, this is what I did. And I sat in this orientation in the month of June of 2022, and December of 2022, I got out. I've been working for the past 3 weeks now, and once you receive your paycheck, it wipes away all those sleepless nights. It heals your heart from all the sleepless nights, from all the challenges that you were going through. And just knowing that you have people who have your back is one of the things that will make you not to want to give up. And it's an opportunity for me again to say thank you so much to my mentors, to the instructors. And guys, I can't wait to see you on the other side of the panel. In 6 months' time, somebody sitting here today who is telling the same story that I'm telling right now. They are here. They know what I'm talking about. This is the place to be if you want to join IT. I am a testimony of it. And I got my job while I was still in school. And right now I am still in school, but I'm already in the field. This is what JoinIT can do for you. So guys, you're welcome to the train of success. Thank you, Prof. Allen. Thank you, everyone.
Wonderful. Very well put. As you guys can hear her explain and, articulate herself very well. Vera has taken our training with JoinIT Solutions. And from day one, she had always been determined, and you all can see the results. Now, we're going to move next. Brian, if you could please move to the next slide. So today, this is how the outline of this presentation is going to flow. So far, we've already done a couple of the steps as you can see on the screen. We are going to talk about who we are, and we are going to talk about what we do here at JoinIT Solutions. And after that, we will be getting some more of these different steps, just as you can see on the screen, just so that we can educate you more and more on exactly what it is. So if you see by the end of this and you still have any other questions, definitely always raise your hand and direct them our way. Thank you, Brian. Go to the next step. All right. A lot of you have probably already been on the WhatsApp group. A lot of you have seen us talk about these different things, what JoinIT Solutions is, and all these different stuff. So before we go in there and talk about what JoinIT is, I'd like to call on Elena. Elena is one of our students who was a very star student here at JoinIT Solutions, and she has soon been integrated into the team. So I'd like to hear Elena tell us exactly, excuse me, I'd like to hear Elena tell us. Elena, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Elena, since you graduated from JoinIT Solutions, your first job you were working as a senior database administrator. Tell us how JoinIT as a community was able to contribute towards you achieving all these goals.
Thank you very much, Prof. Allen. Good morning and welcome to everyone. My name is Eleanor Ndum. I work as a senior DBA. I am a mentor, an instructor assist, and an interview prep lead here at JoinIT. What that means is I help students that are taking training. I also help them apply, tell them how to talk in interviews and all of that. So from that, you can see that JoinIT did not only prepare me to become the senior DBA that I am, but it prepared me to be able to teach and be able to give back to the community. Like you all know, JoinIT is a community. When you come in here, we are not just looking forward to giving you the knowledge and send you off to go look for a job. We look at how you can be perfect in your career. And that is what JoinIT did to me. They gave me the opportunity to always do better, to be the best that I can be. And today at work, I receive all kinds of compliments because JoinIT prepared me as a perfect product. So all I can say is that when you come in here, just trust the process, trust us, and just do what we say and do all you can do. Like Vera already said, there are a lot of things you're going to sacrifice. Your mindset is going to change because you start looking at things in a different way. JoinIT is here to change that for you, to make you see things in a different way. I didn't know how to turn on a computer, talk less of create a folder, even to sit somewhere and talk like this. JoinIT took me from nothing. I would say nothing as far as IT and speaking is concerned. And here I am today. I'm working as a successful senior DBA, and I can sit here and tell you my story. And this all started in an orientation class like this one you're sitting on today. So I encourage all of you to trust this process. We are all here for you. You have taken the best decision, and let nothing make you go back on that, because I faced challenges. I had people who told me that this is not going to help you. But if you listen to us today, like they always say, if you hear the word of the God, harden not your heart. If you listen to us today, harden not your heart. We are here to give you what it takes to make you a perfect IT professional, a very perfect one. So thank you very much and see you on the other side. Thank you, Prof. Allen, for this opportunity.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Elena. Just like I've said, you guys can hear her. You hear how she talks. When she talks like that, her company, people listen because of the knowledge that she has. She's a senior database administrator after taking her training. A lot of people go in junior, that because of the knowledge that she had and she was able to provide, she is a senior database administrator. All right, so let's talk more about JoinIT Solutions, right? I never get tired of talking about JoinIT Solutions because it's a community, it's a company, it's a group of individuals who are here to impact you. JoinIT Solutions LLC is an IT consultancy specialized in bridging the IT gap by supporting individuals in starting or developing a career in IT and also offering advanced IT solutions to organizations and businesses. What does that mean? That does not only mean that we only do IT training. No, we are involved in IT training. We are involved in providing services, IT services to companies and small businesses all around the world. As things stand, we've worked with companies here in the US. We've worked with companies in Cameroon. We have worked in companies all around the world. Bridging that gap, that IT gap. There is always that IT gap where someone sits and says, you know what, I see IT everywhere, but how do I get in? It is all so confusing. I'm not good with computers. This is what we are here for. And that ties to our vision. Our vision is to be the leading gateway for IT solutions and skill development for organizations and professions all around the world. We want to be able to be that leading name that when you think about IT, you think about JoinIT Solutions. Our mission is to train and equip IT professionals with cutting-edge technologies that they need to survive, and not only survive and thrive. You're going to hear, just as you heard from Elena, just as you heard from Vera, you will hear from people like Ghislaine, Vanessa, Ryan. These are all people who came into JoinIT Solutions, came into the community with little or no knowledge in IT, and they were able not to only survive in the IT world, they are currently thriving. And when I say thrive, I don't only mean the financial aspect of thriving. I mean being able to build that professional career, that professional surrounding around you, where, you know what, I have professional contacts. I have a very good and valuable network. That is our mission. When someone graduates from JoinIT and that we see that in their life, we know that we are fulfilling our mission as we go every day. Now, as every organization, it is absolutely important that we have values, because these values are what help us to be able to achieve our vision and our mission. And you can think about the JoinIT values in the acronym RIPE, R-I-P-E. The very first value that we have is reliability. Our word is our bond. We told you this webinar was starting at 11 o'clock. Did it start at 11:30? Did it start at 11:15? There is no black man time. There's no Cameroon time. There's no African time. We are reliable in whatever we tell you it is we are going to do. Every member of our team commits to fully dedicate their time and their resources to helping you and all of our clients. Innovation. We are trailblazers committed to bringing in excellence. You will hear some people say, guess what? We took this IT training 6 months ago, got a job, but I came back and I even was attending some classes. Why is that? Because we are innovating. There's new technology. Every minute there is something new. You will bear with me that you've all heard about new technology coming up, blockchain, all these different things. Technology is coming up every single day. The only way to stay relevant in the IT industry is to be innovative. We make sure that we give you the latest cutting edge technology to make sure that you are available and you have the right skills to do the work that is needed of you. Professionalism. We always put the job first and commit to living up to and exceeding industry standards. You just need to talk to a couple of people who have taken the training with JoinIT Solutions, and you tell you that there is no other place where you will get the utmost level of professionalism. And last but not the least, our expertise. Nobody who comes here to teach you read something on a book to come and teach you. No, we don't do it that way. We are teaching you what we actually do on a day-to-day basis. Nobody's teaching you anything that they haven't actually done. I always tell my students when I'm teaching in class, whenever I tell you anything, you should always reply me with, prove it, right? We can show you. It is a highly hands-on training, and we are going to be able to show you. So this is an overview of what JoinIT Solutions is. And in order for us to continue and go ahead, I'll call upon one of our students who is currently taking the training in Cameroon so that they can talk to us about their experience. Kian, are you there? Cecile Kian, are you there? Cecile, are you there? All right. Cecile may not be with us right now, so we will get to hear from Cecile later on. Now, I am going to pass this over to Brian Chongwai, CEO and lead training instructor here at JoinIT Solutions, and he's going to give you some more information about JoinIT and this training.
Okay, thank you so much, Alan. Thank you all. How is it going? Are we all having fun yet?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nice. So what I will do here, I'm going to go first. You all are here today because of the new student orientation, right? And it's important for you all to understand what JoinIT is all about, which I believe Alan has already made that clear to you guys. And we are about to go into the orientation proper. Just give me a moment here. Let me stop sharing. Actually, share this now. Okay. What happened? Do we have Ken there? Or Dr. Ken, are you there? Just trying to bring on my screen here. Okay, let me know if you all can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
All right, perfect.
If you can stop sharing, I don't think this is the screen. We're seeing your notepad now. There you go.
I'll check if Kian is there, so we can.
Sure. Dr. Kian, are you here? No, Brian, I think she's having some difficulty joining.
All right, perfect. So we're going to be talking about information technology. You know, as you all know, the world today is becoming so much IT inclined. And if you are not in a position where you are able to make good use out of this, right, you're going to be left behind. So in every company that you work, being it a nursing home, being it wherever you work, there is this form of information technology in which you are part of the team. So to do this, I would like to be able to do a demo here for you all to see exactly where we are heading to. A computer, just. Okay, perfect. Finally got it. Okay, so in every company that you work, there is information technology. So I want you all to understand that you're here today because you are getting into IT. So look at this as a company, right? This company is being made up of various departments. If you are working in the health sector, in the banking sector, you see that you have various departments that make up this company. This could be financial department. This could be, might be the marketing department. This could be the accounting department and everything. You see that for this company to be operational, it needs all of these other departments to be able to, get operational. Now, these departments, if you look at this critically, they need services. They need things that they need to put in place in order for this company to work. For example, all of these departments need computers. They need applications. They need applications. They need hardware, right? Might be printers and every other thing. They need people, right? Like employees and all of that. So you see that for every department to work in a company, they need these computers. So all of these IT equipment that they are getting, the applications, the softwares, they are being provided by one main department within that company, which is the IT department. You see that IT is the one that is in charge to make every company work because IT supplies the need of all of these other departments within the company. Once you are in the IT department of every company, you see that you are getting well paid because without IT, that company will not be operational unless it is a bank in Ginicom, right? Where people still go and do manual transactions. They don't need a computer to do anything. And that is how people get along with money. So in the IT department, you see that everything you do here, regardless of you being an IT, a database administrator, a help desk technician, or anything, you belong to this company, it means you are really reliable to the company. So you see that anyone working in IT, you are in the most integral part of that company. And that is why when we talk of IT, we talk about jobs, because just one person cannot do everything in IT. So IT now is breakdown into various disciplines, which you all will need to understand now. I've mentioned things here about data management. That is IT. When you talk about data management, how is a company's data being managed? You can also talk about things like infrastructure. Infrastructure here is just telling the company, okay, how are they getting their computers? How are the networks connected for this company to be able to work? You can look at other things here like security. Security is how is this company's information actually secure? How is a company's infrastructure actually secure? You can talk about IT management. These Scrum Masters, when there's a project that a company needs to work for, right, or need to design and develop, they need project managers. Those also people, they work within the IT department of a company. So you see that if you get into IT, you have a lot of openings. All of this, infrastructure, security, IT management, these are things that make up the IT department. So in everyone now trying to start a career in IT, you need to understand these basic things. When you understand these basic things, you need to look right deep in you and see what skills do I have that can match any of these, right? For example, if you are someone who has been an accountant, you understand that accountants only deal with data. You have those figures, you are able to reconcile those accounts, you are able to keep those trial balance, you are able to keep the information or the financial data of that company. You see that just looking at that, you're already tilting towards data management. How do accountants safeguard those numbers that comes in? Right, so you're already looking at that. If you are someone in school that you did electricity, just understanding IT, you can start looking at, okay, can I get into infrastructure? How are these motherboards of computers being designed? So you need to look at all of these little things and look at the skills that you have to be able to actually get into IT and do what you're supposed to do, right? So these are some of the things that you need to consider when getting into the IT field. So without all of this orientation for you to understand, you're going to be missing behind a lot of stuff. So what will guide you now to select a career path in IT? There are a couple of things. You need information. You need information like the information we are giving you today. You need an institution, a training school that will be able to guide you towards the right path. You need mentors that will be able to tell you, okay, I did this, it worked. I am in this institution, we have helped this number of people and they are having jobs. So you need all of these things. And then right now you look deep in you. What skills do you currently have? What is your background? But the beauty here is that with IT, you can start with no background in computers. And the only way for you to start like this and succeed is to have an institution that understands that you're coming in as an absolute beginner. And that is where JoinIT comes in. We know that you're starting today as absolute beginners, an institution that will start training you from the very basics and directing you towards the right path. If I just get up today and I take Ghislaine, hey, come go and study Azure databases, without walking him through the very fundamentals of database administration to becoming a cloud database administrator, he's going to go there, he's just going to be confused. I'm just going to take his money and eat that. So at JoinIT, we want to give you this orientation so you understand. The other thing here is a lot of other schools just say, hey, come and start AWS Solutions Architect. We go the first day, they ask you to pay a huge sum of money, $3,000. So getting an institution like JoinIT, which offers the first 2 weeks of training to you for free, is very important because by then you can actually make up your mind. I'm a consultant. Me talking to you here today is already part of training you. I go to places, I talk, and they pay me an hour. I talk to people about database administration and they pay me an hour, huge amount. A lot of us here do so. So this is already part of the training that we are giving you for free. And if you get into JoinIT, you understand that we are not just here to make money. We are actually here to help you. So what we're going to be looking at now is understanding this general concept about IT. Why is it important for you at this moment to start a career as an IT professional? And I would like to bring in somebody to tell you some of the reasons why you should start a career in IT, right? I would like to call on Barbara. Barbara, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
So with all of that, I would like you to tell this audience why you think it is important to start a career in IT.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all so much for joining us today. I always like to start by introducing myself. My name is Barbara Fozo. I'm originally from Cameroon. I got into IT, I think some 5 years or so thereabout, by some stroke of luck and with the guide of the Holy Spirit. And since then, my life has changed. Personally, I have my own motivations. One of the reasons why I decided to join IT was just the work-life balance, the money that it came with, and a lot more other things that you guys are going to be discovering as time goes on. I will not go too far without acknowledging and thanking the CEO and vision bearer for trusting me, to be able to deliver this to you guys on this really special day. Firstly, there are a lot of things that you stand to gain when you join the IT field. I've personally enjoyed this, and those that have gotten into it will equally, testify that this and more you stand to benefit when you get into the IT space. The very first one is competitive salaries. Money stops nonsense, right? So if you want to have a conversation with our fellow Africans and then you first of all bring the money part to it, then you're going in the right direction. Even money beats food. And in this case, IT jobs are known for higher than average starting salaries. The times when I just got into IT, I was just going in there to fulfill righteousness. And all of a sudden, when I got the first recruiting call and they were like, oh, how much are you hoping to pay to get? What are you looking at achieving or getting as a compensation? And then for a second, I did not know what to say. And then I was guided and I just said, oh, how much are you willing to offer? And then that man said 6 weeks. This position is a senior level position and we are starting at $65 an hour. I was like, oh, that's exactly what I am looking for. So imagine you're coming from a nursing home where they were paying you $10 an hour, and then someone wants to give you $65 an hour. How good is that? Or you're coming from Cameroon where your monthly salary was $50 an hour, and just FYI, $50 an hour for in America here is about 50,000 francs a month. In America is about $100. It's about $100, and then you come here and somebody is saying that they want to give you $65 an hour. Please do the math yourself, and then you see. And then we have salary ranges like, we have 80,000 a year, we have 90,000. There are people in here who earn $150,000 annually. Why? Because they dedicated 6 months into their lives, they got into IT, they choose something lucrative, and they are living good lives. Their families too are living good lives. Let us talk about job opportunities. I remember how, I had a dream that I want to really become a pharmacist, guided by my mom. She said she wanted me to become a pharmacist, so that I can create impact and make good money. And today, the job opportunities in IT, believe you me, I had people who discouraged me, like they were like, Barbie, see, you are too talented to be wasting. Go ahead and focus time and do your pharmacist and come out strong. That IT thing, you're even Black, people will not look at you. Believe me, I dedicated 6 months of my life. And after 6 months, it took me some time to get my first job. I just cannot remember. And since then, my life has not been the same. People now look for me for jobs. I don't apply for jobs anymore. Jobs follow me. So there are a lot of job opportunities. If you go to Google, Indeed, Dice, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, man, you have millions and millions of jobs. For the sake of recording, there are certain things I will not be able to say here, but there are just so many jobs out there, believe me. The next thing is career stability. So we have this mentality that that in America, people really don't care about you, or that generally people don't care about you. What they want is what you have in your head. As long as you don't have the knowledge anymore to offer, you will be sent away. And so no job is ever guaranteed. And this is me talking to people in my team. I work in a team where I'm actually the youngest, and then the only woman and the only Black lady. And then you hear people saying, I've been in this company for 35 years. For you to be in a company for 35 years, how do we call that? Is that not job stability? Besides, we are here in JoinIT Solutions. JoinIT Solutions gives you all the tools. They are there to make. Personally, I don't like to work in a company for too long because I feel like there's a lot that I need to exploit out there before I really grow old. But career stability is something that you can guarantee here. You can get into a company as a DBA. Before you know it, they're saying that, we want to train you to become a solutions architect. And once you're a solutions architect, now they'll say, please, we want to train you to become a data scientist. And that's how you just see yourself climbing and going and going and going. Now, let's talk about the next thing. Work from anywhere. This is actually the sweetest part of it. Work from anywhere means that you can actually work on your bed. I've never really tried that, but I think that one of these days I'm going to try this because I have been working from home for the past 4 years. Imagine leaving the only traffic you get is stepping down from your bed and maybe moving to your office. That's if you have a home office. But I advise that you have a home office, if you're working from home. So you can work from anywhere. I remember the CEO sometime went to Cameroon and then he told me that he's working. And then I was wondering, your company is in America and you're in Cameroon working. That means you can work from anywhere. Do you know why? Because you are connecting from your computer. You sit there, you communicate with your coworkers as if you're seeing them, just like you and I are talking. Do you guys actually know that the JoinIT team is at work right now? I am actually sitting in a hotel room. Vanessa is somewhere else. The CEO is somewhere else, and all of us are working. That's the beauty of IT. You can work from anywhere, meaning you can sit in your house in Bamenda and then you have a job here in America. You can sit in your house maybe in America and then you're working for a company in Canada. That's how good it is. Now, let's talk about making a difference. One thing about me is that I like to make a difference. And that was also my motivation when I stepped in here. There is nothing sweeter than when I have an email from my manager said, Barbara, thank you so much. You saved the day. There is nothing sweeter than, the CEO texting me and saying that you did wonderfully in the orientation today. You really made a difference. And that is what IT is all about. See, you will not imagine the joy it is when people have been struggling on something and then you just come in with your expertise and say, hey, I think we should do this, and we are going to arrive at the conclusion. That is done, and that is you making an exceptional difference. You know? And then there is lifelong learning. I like to use myself as an example because I know myself better. Lifelong learning. I started off as a SQL Server database administrator. I worked with this company for 6 months, and then I left, got into another position, and still worked as a DBA. And all of a sudden, I started managing Oracle databases. How did I get there? Because I learned Oracle on the job. And all of a sudden, I had another position. That is me managing Azure databases. Got another position. That is me managing Power Data Warehouse databases. And now I am taking Snowflake training. See, just within 5 years of my career, look at what I have been able to learn. Do you think you can conquer me? And let me tell you another sweet thing. While I am working and earning all of this money, I equally backed my master's in IT, right? How sweet is that? That is lifelong learning. When you get into IT, you're so exposed, you're so driven with a passion that, you just accomplish things without knowing that you're even accomplishing certain things. My very close people, they actually call me to tell me that, oh, Bobby, you know that this is what you've accomplished so far. I don't even know because I'm driven by the passion. And that's going to be your story if you make this decision today. Now, no degree, no problem. Man, we have been brainwashed for too long that you must be able to you must stay in that luxurious city in the University of Boya or Bamenda to get that degree before you get a lucrative job. Well, I did that anyway. And then again, we equally know that you must go to the most luxurious universities and pay huge amounts of money before you can actually get a good job after you back your degree. Well, experience has shown that your degree, that's just a literature. You need to learn a skill that will put you on the table. You need to learn a skill that is going to make your tables full. I'm quoting Chi Brian here, actually. So yes, if you don't have a degree, it's fine. Let me tell you guys something. I know people who were carpenters and now they are big DBAs. I know people who were hairdressers and now they are big DBAs. So if you don't have a degree, it is okay. The goal is that you just need to have this skill and then we'll fit you, right? Being known as a go-to person. I already told you guys about making a difference. So yesterday at work, I was just sitting there, minding my business and answering my calls, and out of a sudden my manager was like, Barbara, can we add you to a call? We just did a migration and this server cannot come up. Why are they coming to me? Because they know that I have the skills that can bring up that server, right? And this server actually hosted a payment application. If that server stays down, employees in the entire company will not be paid. And for me to know that I am the go-to person to bring that application up, how does that sound? And this is me coming in there, exercising my what I know, just touching one or two things there and the server comes up like mushroom, right? So you are the go-to person when you are in the IT environment. And that's if you know what you're doing actually. There is never a dull moment. When you go into a team, like just look at me, for example, do you think talking to me can you actually have a dull moment with me? There is no way you can sit with us for 30 minutes without us talking about IT, making it sound really fun, learning new things. You go with your coworkers, they are telling you about this new technology, telling you about what they did at work. There is absolutely no dull moment. And there is continual innovation. You are creative, you come up with these ideas to better your team and all of that good stuff. There is really a lot you can stand to gain. And one thing that has kept me equally going is the ability to give back to the community. With all of these skills that I have had, the fact that I got into IT and all of these things have improved me, I decided to come back to JoinIT Solutions to give it all to my community. And who is my community? My community is you all. So join IT and enjoy the competitive salaries, job opportunities, your career stabilities, work-life balance, which is working from anywhere, make a difference where no one can actually make that difference. There is lifelong learning, no degree is required. You will be known as a go-to person and there will never be a dull moment if you join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that brilliant presentations, Prof. Barbara. You guys can hear how she's upbeat. And she says there's never a dull moment with her. You can hear how she is full of life and energy. Thank you very much. in order for us to move forward, I'm going to bring in somebody. This young man is a very exceptional young man. That's why I like to bring him in anytime we have this. McDonald, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So, McDonald, I'm not going to say much. I'll leave you to tell the whole thing. After your training in Cameroon, tell us where you were, how you started, where you are right now.
All right. I believe it should be good morning to most of you. For others, I think it should be good evening. Again, my name is, like you've heard, my name is Ngo McDonald. I work as a data engineer with Essential Services, and I currently work with JoinIT as an instructor. All right, so my journey is a very, interesting one. I think some of you might have heard about it. So initially, I was a chemistry teacher back in Cameroon and living in Bambui. For those who understand the terrain, right? So, but I got, someone shared the opportunity with me, some other person shared this link with you. I don't know, for some reason, he just believed that I was the best person for it because he kept telling me about joining this program about 6 times, consecutive times. I kept telling him, Masa, just forget about IT. I'm not interested in IT. I don't have any IT background. So, I had those kind of excuses. I came to JoinIT with no IT background. When I go back and I try to read some of the comments I even made in the group, it was quite frightful because I would ask very dumb questions because I was curious to know. But I had this push within me. When I took the decision, I told myself, nothing's going to limit me. I told myself, no matter the challenges that come my way, I'm ready, to embrace it. I had every legitimate reason not to have taken this training. First, I live in Bambui. So talking, at odd hours, you risk being kidnapped. I attended classes several times using my phone because of power outages. So, I had a lot of legitimate reasons not to take this program, but I told myself nothing is going to limit me. So, cut a long story short, I got into the training 2021 in June, and by April, a company, an American company based in Mauritius contacted me, and that's just how it started. We got into an interview, I think about 3 or 4 times, and it ended so beautifully. So they said they were going to, they hired me from Cameroon, paid, my air ticket. They paid my transport from Bambui to where I am, myself and my whole family. And that is definitely how, I, had a switch in career, and it's been an amazing journey. But not just amazing, the challenges were quite there, trust me. If you've decided to, get into this IT, you have to be committed. And so my yearning or my desire for you is that let these stories not only inspire you, but let it equally be your own story tomorrow. Thank you very much and welcome home.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, McDonald. As you guys say, he did not go to eat some kind of leaves from some Baba in Africa to be able to talk to those people. It is the amount of professionalism. It is the skills. The IT industry does not care where you are from. As long as you have the right skills, the IT will take you from anywhere, the most remote village in the world, to the world stage. Thank you very much, McDonald. I'm going to hand it over back again to our CEO, Mr. Brian Chongwine, and he is going to tell you some more interesting stuff. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, thank you so much, Alan. Thank you, Mark. When Barbara mentioned that she knows people who have been carpenters and today they are DBAs, that was like a direct attack to me. So, so yeah, and that is very true, right? I was a carpenter. I graduated in a technical school with a back in carpentry. I used to teach back home for 28,000, a month. Teaching carpentry, how to roof houses and all of that. But today, I'm a full-blown up IT professional, and you'll hear more and more as we go along. When Barbara was also talking about being the to-go person with the skills that she has, she does not just get those from the air, right? She actually took a training like this for 6 months. And today, look at the knowledge that she can share with you all. Barbara, talking today, is having her master's now, not before she started IT. She started IT, got in, saw there is money, pretty much paid her tuition out of her pocket, you know, while working. So these are a lot of benefits that you will get when you get into IT. So when you hear about McDonald talking, he's one of those that inspire us a lot. Coming from Cameroon, we did not know of these opportunities until we started this. And there are many of them that are actually interviewing now with international companies, right? McDonald here, I think he has more than 4 certifications, 2 which he took from Cameroon, and 2 now that the company has actually called him, hired him, and trained him to go and get those certifications. So in IT, all you need to do is get started. By the time you get started, you know, you're gonna keep growing. So let us talk about this. I mentioned earlier about general IT, right? That is what we talked about. What is IT all about? We talk about infrastructure, data management, and everything. Our focus today will be drilling you all on how to start a career in IT, but with focus on database administration. Right? Remember, when I was talking about general IT stuff, I talked about data management. So with IT here, as you can see, being the most integral part of a company, you all will understand that this company has something which is their most valuable asset, and that is data. You see that data is the most valuable asset for every company. When we talk of data, what is that data we're talking about? Take you as an individual, right? You already have data that you are managing. So you are already a database administrator by default. The data that you have, here you have your contacts, right? You have contacts on your phone, you have messages, you have emails that you safeguard, you have data in hard copy, like your birth certificate and all of those, right? That to you is your data, your music, your pictures, all of that is data that you have that is helping you. Now, where does this data that you have reside? All of this data that you have reside within a database. DBA is a database. And this database, where does it reside? It resides in your phone. You see that your phone here has applications in them or in it that stores your data. Everything on your WhatsApp messages, it resides within a database, and that database is on your phone. So now, what do you already do as a database administrator in a daily basis? The first thing that you do is you definitely back up your contacts, right? You have a Gmail account. When someone says, hey, this is Brian's number, you go in there, you save it. So you know how to manage data. You know how to store data. You are storing that data on your phone, and you are able to back it up. Why are you backing up your contact? So that if something happens and your phone is missing today, you are able to go back to your Gmail and say, oh, these are my contacts, and you restore them back on your phone, right? You are able to ensure high availability of your data. What is high availability? Now, just think of it. If you are attending this Zoom over your phone and your phone is not charged, what happens if the battery goes to 0%? You see that you're going to be missing a lot because you'll not be able to connect with us online now, right? That is high availability that you're already involved in at a personal level. The other thing that you're going to see here is performance tuning. When your phone is running slow, what are the things that you do? You might be like, oh, I have too many apps open and all of that. You go into your phone now, maybe you close some applications or you restart it. You want your phone to work well. Why? Because you want to be able to grab your data and make use of it. The only reason why you have your phone with you is manipulating data. It is either you are viewing data on Facebook or you are trying to make a call. Making a call is actually providing information, giving data to the other person on the other end. You are sending a message, that is data that you are sending to somebody, or you are reading messages that have been sent to you, right? So that is what you already do as an individual on your phone. Another thing here is capacity planning, because your contacts are growing and everything. You want to make sure that, oh, today my phone is just, I bought a Chironko phone. I'm now at this level. I want to upgrade my phone to iPhone 14. Hello? I want to upgrade to iPhone 14. So that is you trying to upgrade the hardware in which your data resides so you can perform well. So all of these things that you do, right, we do them at the level of companies. Now, the difference is that a company will have multiple databases because they have multiple applications. Look like a bank. A bank has savings, deposit, maybe they are also involved in real estate. So they have a database that stores separate information. A bank might have 100 or 2,000 databases. These databases now don't reside on a phone, they reside on computers. So you now going as a database administrator, you already understand your responsibility. What are you doing with that company's data? The same thing. The first thing that you need to do is on your phone, you learn how to manipulate your phone to go see your contacts and everything, right? Meaning that if your phone is an Android or an Apple phone, you need to understand how to use the operating system because it is through that operating system that you have your data. So in this case, as a database administrator for a company, you have key responsibilities. The first one is to be able to install and configure the database management system in which that database is going to be on. And in this case, we are talking about SQL Server. That's your first responsibility. The second responsibility that you do, I'm just grouping this, is to be able to ensure disaster recovery for a company. The same way you back up your contacts, you back up your data to the cloud. The company needs you to come in and be able to back up these databases so that if a disaster occurs, you'll be able to recover them. If this database gets corrupted, you'll be able to recover it from a backup that you have taken for that company. You have a responsibility to set up high availability. High availability here, just like you do on your phone. You charge your phone so that it should be on 24/7, so you don't miss calls. Companies want their databases to be on 24/7. So you need to bring in solutions in place that will ensure that the databases are always available. And those solutions are included in the database management system, which you're going to understand how to use for that company. The other key responsibility here of a DBA is to ensure security. Security in the sense that this company's data, who have access to it? Just like you on your phone, you have a password. Why are you protecting your phone? Why do you put a password? The main reason is that you don't want someone to go in there and get hold of your data. Reading your messages, I can understand and use that against you. Seeing some of your pictures, all of those, that is data that you have on your phone. So companies want that you should be able to come in and ensure the security of their data. Who has access? Who is able to view what data? Who is able to do what on that particular data, right? Then we can be looking now at performance tuning to ensure that the data that is within this database, if anyone needs this data, they should be able to retrieve it with minimum downtime, with minimum effort, right? So these are some of the key responsibilities that you do as you perform as a database administrator. So the reason why we are bringing this up is because for you to get into IT, by the time you understand data management, then you have an idea about IT in general. Learning database administration, we teach you from computer basics. We teach you networking because you need to understand. We teach you system administration. So you now have a general knowledge about IT, but now you're an expert in database administration. Now, with this fundamental knowledge that we give you, you start getting jobs for 6 figures. And from here, you can only excel. From a DBA, I tell all my trainees, after 6 months of training, take a class in cloud computing. At that point, you are going there with already knowledge of 6 months. You are not going there as a brand new person in IT. So the methodology that we use is actually helping you. The topics or the solution we are bringing to help you start your career in IT is database administration. And it is very easy to understand because you all already have the fundamental skills to understand the concept of database administration. And once you have that concept in you, it is easier for you to pick that up and keep going. We have a very high success rate. Why? Because you people come in, we build that foundation and you easily pick it up at JoinIT. You see us announcing new DBAs all the time because of the structure and the approach that we use in helping you get into IT. right? So this is database administration. So now the thing is, who is a database administrator? After this orientation today, you should be able to explain to your friends, your parents that, oh, I attended a new student orientation and this is what it's all about. You have understood the responsibilities of a database administrator in a company. Now, who is a database admin? A database administrator is an IT professional who is responsible in managing and maintaining the company's data. If you don't take anything from this orientation today, at least grab that. A DBA is an IT professional who is responsible for managing and maintaining a company's data. You definitely know what data is. A bank, if you look all the customers' name, their email addresses, that is data. It resides on a database. You have seen the key responsibilities of a database administrator to be able to install, configure, and manage the database management system in which the data resides. This is a key word. We start teaching you from today. Look at yourself today as already a student. Some of these things that I talk about, database management system, have a pen, write them down. Have a pen, write down what is database administration. Write down what are the responsibilities of a database administrator. After the orientation today, you start learning. Go online and start doing research. And we start teaching you that from today's orientation, right? So the next thing is look at how to become a database administrator. It is very easy. How do you become one? Barbara is a database administrator. Eleanor is a database administrator. Vera, Ghislaine, all of these are JoinIT alumni who are DBAs. They sat in the same orientation here like you. The first thing is you need to understand what database management system you want to specialize in. When you talk of a database management system, look things like your phones, right? There are some people that are more Android-like. There are some people that are more Apple, you know, the operating system for Apple. So databases also have their database management system. For example, you have SQL Server, SQL, you have Oracle, you have MySQL, don't mind the writing, right? You have MariaDB and everything. So the first thing is to identify what database management system you want to be an administrator of. In our case here, we are looking at SQL Server, which SQL Server is a Microsoft product. And you know, Microsoft is a giant in the tech industry. When you learn any of these products, most companies do use Microsoft products. The other thing why you need to take this guy as your database management system to certify and be working on is because it is easy to understand that. Hello? Are you all getting me?
Very loud and clear.
Move on.
Yes.
We're getting clear.
Yes.
Loud and
Yes,
clear.
we get you.
Perfect. Is it time to collect offerings yet, or
We do.
you have the congregation to wait for a little bit?
Pastor, you want to collect offer, you better be careful because there's a pastor here.
Okay. I get it, Pastor. Let's just continue, right? Today's going to be a free session. We're just going to pray at the end of the day. We go home, you know, there will be no communion or anything like that, right?
Okay.
Perfect. So let us look at this. I've mentioned that the first thing that you need to do to become a DBA is understand what database administrators do. That you already have. That is the first step. The second thing is now pick a database management system to specialize on. We have talked about SQL Server, right? And why should you pick SQL Server? It is easy to understand SQL Server because it is more of a graphical user interface. You go there as a beginner, you're able to see and click stuff just as you do on your computer. There are others like Oracle where you need to use more of command line. It runs on a Linux operating system. So now with you all, a majority of you, 99% of you all in class, you have a Windows computer and SQL Server runs on Windows. So meaning that if you are getting to learn SQL Server now, you are just learning the SQL Server, not the operating system itself. But if you have to go and learn Oracle, you need to first of all understand the Linux operating system, which as a beginner, it is not very user-friendly. Okay, so this next thing, once you have identified this database management system, seek guidance from already working DBAs. Look at you here today. You all are in the orientation group. right? We are there. Reach out to any of us. Ask us, how did it work for me? How did it work for Chi Brian? How did it work for Ghislaine? How did it work for Vanessa? Ask and get the information. If I'm telling you today to do DBA, the first thing you will look at me is, what am I doing? It's just like me telling you today to go and become a pharmacist. And I'm trying to orientate you that no, pharmacy is good. First, you start looking at me. So seek guidance from already working DBAs. And at JoinIT, we have a community of already working DBAs. The second thing, once you have all of these, take a database administration hands-on training. Guys, we cannot emphasize on this. Hands-on training is the key. You can go to school, you can buy a book on DBA, you read it 100 times. But if you don't have the skills to be able to perform, take a backup of a database, install the database management system, set up a high availability and disaster recovery, grant access to someone on your databases, you are not a DBA. So take a training like this where you sit for 6 months, we train you. The things that you learn for 6 months give you 5 years of working experience. I went to school. I have my degree in networking. I never configured a router while in school, meaning that I cannot even have a job as a network administrator. But after taking a 6 months training, I am able to stand and defend myself that this is what I can do because I have done it practically. The other thing is build a network of IT professionals. Make me your friend. Make Barbara your friend. Make Alan your friend. You are in a group today where you have people with like-minded people looking at starting a career in IT. After this orientation, some of you are going to drop. You're not going to attend the first day of class, right? But when you get to that first day of class, clean up your friendship list, guys. Build a new network of people that are willing to work with you to get to a successful level. Very important. Once you already have this network of people, like Vera now, she's still in training, but she has a job. They're in class, about 30-something of them, right? Still in training. About 4 of them have already gotten their jobs. So what do you think that alone does to the 31 people who are still in their training? It motivates them. When they turn around and look at Vera, oh, Vera is already making, 6 figures. Every month she has $6,000. That is how many million? More than 3 million in francs CFA. It is pushing them like, you know what? If Vera did this while we're in class, then I can definitely do it. Hello? Vera, am I communicating?
You are.
And of course, when you are at that level, you start doing giveaway now, right? Vera is actually doing giveaway to her classmates. Just kidding. You boys should not bill her, right? So the next thing is, once you build this network, this community, joining us, you are already part of that community. You don't need to go and start looking for people everywhere. You have more than a good number of instructors here, mentors. The beauty of JoinIT is that anybody that goes through our training comes back and take a couple of you new students to mentor. That is why Helena can sit today and say that one of her mentees, Yaji, got a job last week. That is her mentee. Helena came back to give back to the community. Yaji, when she starts working, she will come back and pick 1 or 2 of you and mentor you. So we are building a community of IT professionals. We are not just like a traditional school where you come, you pay your money after 6 months, you leave. The other thing I want to talk here is advance your career by learning new skills. Barbara mentioned this. At JoinIT, all of them will tell you, we don't settle for less. As the C6 class is graduating this week, next month, all of them are enrolling in Azure. By the time they are done with Azure, they take their certifications, we are pushing them to learn data engineering. So there is that continuous learning. So I'm not going to talk again why database administration, right? Barbara already mentioned why you should get a career in IT. So you have less work, more pay. Of course, we work less. At times, I resolve 2 tickets a day, and we get paid more. Do you know why they pay DBAs more? It's not because you do more work. It's because you manage the most valuable asset of that company. If you go into a bank today, you delete the records of all employees or all customers, or you go behind their savings account, you remove 00. That is havoc you are causing. So they pay you DBAs more because they want you to be contented, have a cool head, sit there and just work less because they don't want to tamper with the company's data. Hello? Are we together?
Bye.
Yeah.
Hi, we're together.
We're
The
good.
next thing is that
Yes, Prof.
We're
We are
good.
5 on 5.
this
It's
is
actually
easy to
amazing.
learn. Database administration is easy. We have made the training very easy for you guys. Our methodology is second to none. You will not see it anywhere. That is why if I bring in a student taking this training from Cameroon today to talk about IT, just being with us for 2 months, your mind will be blown up because you will not be able to comprehend. How come this person know this at this time? How come Eleanor, who did not know how to right-click a computer or right-click on a mouse, is today a DBA working for a Fortune 500 company without a degree in IT because of the training? We are being trained by people actually working in the field. If I tell you today, oh, back up this database, that is something that you do. There are numerous job opportunities. If you want to do yourself a favor, go online. Just type SQL Server DBA jobs near me. There are millions of jobs, but we don't have a lot of people to fill these positions. That is why people keep getting jobs. The question someone will ask me today is that, is there a guarantee that after your training, you will have a job? I always answer this question by asking that same person, are there jobs out there? If you go online, you see 1 million jobs. What does that tell you? It means they need 1 million DBAs. The day you go online and you don't see any job postings for database administrators, then come back and tell me that no, there are no jobs in DBA, right? The other thing is you don't need any prior knowledge in IT to become a DBA. You don't need that because we take you from an absolute beginner to an IT professional, right? And you take care of the most valuable asset of the company. I can talk and go on, but I would like to pass back the floor to Alan so he can continue. I know there's going to be time for questions. Alan, do we have
So thank you, Brian. Fernanda is one of our latest DBAs in Canada. So we wanted to talk to the freshest DBA. You know how when you go to the store, you say, give me the freshest bread. But unfortunately, she's not able to join us. So we'll take the less fresh bread, who is a more seasoned Canadian DBA. That's Ryan. Ryan, can you please, Ryan, just for a little bit of a background, Ryan is currently a community leader in Canada, and Ryan works as a DBA. And Ryan, we would like to ask you, what is some of the advice that you like to give to those in Canada who are with us here today and are not very sure about starting this training?
All right, Prof. Alan, thank you very much. Greetings to everyone. As you guys have heard, my name is Ryan Table, and I am a database administrator, and I am also an ambassador of JoinIT Solutions here in Canada. So, I mean, I really want to appreciate everyone who made a sacrifice to be here today, and I'm excited to meet all of you. And again, you will always want to be in a place of knowledge, right? Because knowledge is power. With knowledge, you can always achieve anything. So, talking about myself, you guys have heard a lot that I don't know what to say again, because with all you've heard, you should be encouraged to start. You should believe that once you come in with your commitment, with your dedication, you're going to succeed. I heard about JoinIT Solutions in 2021 when I was trying to figure out what I really wanted for myself. I was, because I have a civil engineering background and I was working in construction, but I wasn't really comfortable with what I was doing. I needed a more work-life balance. I needed more money as well, right? So I spoke with my friend in the States and he told me about JoinIT Solutions and encouraged me about it. Regardless of the distance, I was dedicated to what I wanted. I spoke with Brian and it was so interesting and he was calm the way he spoke to me. And I just made the decision at that point, enroll into the program, attended the town hall like you guys are doing, and also started classes. So, well, here in Canada, my experience, when I did the training, you guys have heard a lot about the training. It's an amazing experience being in JoinIT Solutions. You're never going to regret it. Believe me, you have challenges, but all those challenges are molding you towards what you're going to face tomorrow. So it's a great thing. when I completed my training, when I just enrolled into the interview prep class, and 1 month later, I got my first job for one of the biggest institutions here in Canada. That's just to let you guys know that there are opportunities, and those in Canada as well should be really encouraged, because even after working 2 months later, I had a second job again, right? So being a DBA has been, that's what I've been missing all my life, and I would never regret the day I made that decision. Today, I'm very comfortable traveling around and still working. And I'm so excited again as Fernanda had a job, and we have other people who are taking interviews here in Canada. I'm hoping that we'll get more jobs here. So guys, there are a lot of opportunities out there, just like Brian said. Just be encouraged wherever you are. People in Cameroon are getting jobs, people in the States, people in Canada, all over the world, they are getting jobs. Why don't you think you can do it as well? So so I'm just so excited to meet all of you, and I just hope you guys take this serious. As you've started today, ensure that you enroll, ensure that you start the classes. You will not believe what you will become halfway into the program, right? I saw people who had no knowledge, no computer background, and halfway into the program they were talking IT, and now they are database administrators. So there is everyone talking here. We are not joking, right? Everybody talking is working. We are all making money. I'm comfortable. I'm here because of you, because I just want to see how our community can grow, right? So take this serious, guys. When you get there, you believe me, you remember all of these things we are saying, and you'll be grateful for it. Thank you very much, JoinIT Solutions, for organizing this. Thank you for reaching out to people, and we are blessed to have this kind of community. Take care, and I'm waiting to see you guys again. Bye.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ryan, for that. Prof. Brian, if you please resume the screen share, and I'll take slide 10.
Okay. Let me do that.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. One thing I noticed after talking is I always just assume that because I always talk a lot, I have introduced myself already many times, and I noticed that I may have not. My name is Alain Four, and I am a SQL Server Database Administrator here at JoinIT Solutions, and I am also a trainer here at JoinIT Solutions. That is why I'm here right now to talk to you about our training structure, how we structure our training. If you look at your screen, you're going to see there are various steps that you go through being a database administrator or coming into the JoinIT community. Let's look at the first step down, which says 2 weeks. It says you come in as an absolute beginner. The way this training is structured is we structure absolute beginners and people who have some knowledge in IT. They come together and they're able to merge and they're able to grow in this training together for that 6 months. We've been doing this for quite a while. We are exceptional at doing this. We've brought this down to a science where we bring people who have never even clicked on a computer before, and they are able to start from there. We take you through computer basics, understanding the IT environment, responsibilities of a DBA, and introduction to databases. We don't want to just bring you in and then we just say, oh, come here, this is SQL Server. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to have a broad understanding of the whole before we are able to specialize you. I also want to mention right here now that the first 2 weeks of the training is free of charge. Absolutely free of charge. Why do we do that? The reason why we do that is because there are a lot of people who are still contemplating, who don't know if IT is the thing for them, right? Imagine tomorrow if everybody decides to go into IT. You're sick tomorrow and you go to the hospital and the doctor says, hold on, let me Google your symptoms. It's going to be scary, right? Everybody cannot go into IT. So sometimes you want to do it, but it does not want to do you. That's perfectly fine. That's why we give you the first 2 weeks to determine if this is really something you want to do and you don't have to spend any money. After that, you go into the next step, which is the next 4 months of the training. At this part of the training, by the end of the first 4 months, I have students who have already started applying and getting jobs. Why? Because at that level, you're what we call a junior to a mid-level DBA. You know how to install SQL Server. You know how to create databases and manage them. You know database security, database monitoring and performance tuning, job application, and resume building. These are all those skills that you have. As I'm calling these things, take a screenshot of these things. Go to Indeed right now. Go to LinkedIn. Look at a SQL Server job posting. And if you don't see any of these things there, come back to me, right? These are the things that we are teaching you here at JoinIT Solutions. Once we're done, so you're 4 months in already, the next 2 months, which finishes the 6 months of training, you are now a senior DBA and an IT professional. What does that mean? That means we are teaching you on how to implement high availability. If you remember how Prof. Brian very beautifully put it a couple minutes ago, high availability is being able to make sure that in the event that something happens to the data, you have a backup. You have a way to recover from a disaster. That is what high availability and disaster recovery is. We teach you virtualization, how to work with virtual machines, servers, all of these different things that are the backbone of the IT industry. You would know them by then. System administration, what do we mean? There are a lot of my students here who not only got a job as a DBA, some of them are working as system administrators. Some of them are working as cache admins. Some of them are working as Active Directory admins. So we broaden the scope for you so much so that whatever it is that you want to go into, you'll be able to more than comfortably go in. Job application and resume building. So at this point, I will tell you, out of a class of 20, at this point, I already have 2 or 3 people who already have jobs. Yes, because they already have all the knowledge. There, I see a lot of them here. Elena, Vanessa, Ryan, Ghislaine. As you see them here, these are all people who got jobs even before finishing their training. What does that have to tell you? That tells you that the information we give you is very, very robust, so much so that you'll be able to get into the job market. But for some people who decide, no, you know what? I'm going to finish my 6 months and then I'm going to get into the job market. That takes you now into the next step. Other training institutions, this is what they do. You come in, pay your money, they teach you, give you the skills, let you go away. That's what happens. You can ask around. But after this, we take you now on another intense, free of charge, 3 months of interview preparation and job searching skills. What does that mean? We are helping you to apply, helping you with resume building, helping you with interview prep, mock interviews, setting you up with a mentor, certification preparation, internship and shadowing where available for other people who are in the same town as people who are already working. Yes, that is the community that we are building. For those of you, you will notice a lot of the time, it's just you're not in some of our internal community groups. You will see, today I am with a different person who just got their job and they're preparing to start their first day at work. So they come in, they see what I do at my job. Imagine that. You can almost get that nowhere else. This is what we are providing to you, right? The next step now is after doing all this good work, you get a job, right? If you don't get a job, then that means that we need to take you back to your village and take you to one of the rivers there and wash you, like they say. But say you've gotten your job. Now you've gotten your job, you're ready to go in there. We put you in a group of SQL Server DBAs. We put you in a group of Azure DBAs, Cloud DBA engineers. This is a group where you have an issue at work. There is something, oh, you know what? This is new. I'm not so sure I know this. Get on WhatsApp, get on the group. Hey, this is the issue I'm having. Someone responds to you within minutes. There is nowhere else you can get that. This is what JoinIT is offering you. You get on-the-job support, free of charge. There'll never be a time you come here and say, Prof, I'm having an issue. Please, can you help me? And I say, okay, Momo me small thing. No, we don't do that, right? Free on-the-job support. Now, you have the opportunity to become a mentor. I'm not going to talk too much about this because Brian and everybody else has already talked about it. It is very important. I used to want to be a pilot before I became a DBA. And the first thing about being a pilot is when you learn, you must train. Actually, with a DBA, you don't know. As a pilot, you must teach others. That is the only way they will know that you really have mastered the subject, right? So you get the opportunity to become a mentor. And lastly, you're advancing your career. Not too much to talk there. So the question is, if all these things that we have said, you're still not convinced, now I want to give you a few points of why JoinIT Solutions. The biggest thing, first of all, is that there are many, many training institutions out there, especially in our community. And the aim is to build the community. Nobody will ever put down any other training institution. We will only give you the reasons why we are providing you with the best training that you can find out there. We have an 80% job success rate for all of our graduates. What does that mean? That means everybody who takes the training from 0 to 6 months and completes that training, guess what? We have an 80% success rate. Some people get jobs before the training, before they finish the training. Some people get jobs immediately they finish the training. Some get 4 months, 5 months, 6 months after the training. But we can boast of an 80% job success rate. Our training fee is more than available, especially for those of you in Africa and some parts of Europe and the Middle East. It has been highly subsidized just so that we can make sure that we can bring this to our community, right? Imagine charging the same fee that we charge here in the US in our communities in Africa. You will never have had the success story of McDonald's. You will never have the success story of all these other people who have taken the training from Africa. This is what we make sure that we provide to you. Career orientation. When you're done, must you become a DBA? No. Many different things that you can be, just like Brian has mentioned. So I will not even go into that. Catch up and tutorial classes. What does this mean? Each class is separated into groups with various mentors. You can see they're all here. Ghislaine, Vanessa, Ryan. All these people are mentors who are working sometimes one-on-one with students. A teacher taught something you did not understand. You watch the video, you still did not understand. Reach out to a mentor. A mentor will be able to come to you and say, hey, you know what? Let's look at this level. And then you will be able to understand. Next thing is experienced instructors. Like you have heard from some of them, you'll be hearing from more of them as we go. Brian himself, as you can see, he has been teaching this for over 8 years now. Barbara is there. She has been working for over 5 years now, and she has been teaching for even longer, right? These are people who, even before we got into IT, we have people like Prof. Jarvis, which some of you will be meeting later. These are people who used to be teachers back home in Cameroon. McDonald was a chemistry teacher. They already know how to teach. It just depends now on the subject matter, right? We're not just taking people who have never taught. Teaching requires a lot, requires patience. So you have people who are experienced in not only teaching IT, but teaching as a whole. One-on-one coaching and mentorship. We will be giving you this opportunity. Right now, a lot of you will probably notice that, oh, this person is in Houston. Oh, Vanessa is in Ohio. Oh, this person is there. I want to be able to talk to them so that maybe someday I can meet them and get a one-on-one conversation. Interview preparation and resume building. This is very important. Let me tell you something. People pay hundreds of dollars for people to work and build a resume for them. Hundreds of dollars here in the US. It is a very important thing, but we have the skills ready to provide you with these resumes, right? Talked about on-the-job support, and I've talked about continuous learning. So these are just some of those key things that will make you, a trainee at JoinIT Solutions, stand out. We have people who have taken training in other organizations and come to us, and they come in at this level of in the job market, and we help them to get the job. We have tons of people who have done that. So as you take this training structure, what I'll tell you all is you should be taking a picture of this, going out there, Go to the job portals, look at the responsibilities of a DBA that they're looking for, and you see everything that I have just mentioned here to you. Right. Now, with that said, what we're going to do right now is we're going to hear from one of our teachers here at JoinIT Solutions. He is the leader of the JoinIT Solutions interview prep group, this group that I'm just talking about in the 3 months. They are doing exceptional work. So, Prof. Galabe, are you there?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead, Prof.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Allen. Thank you, everyone, for joining with us today. I'm sure that today is going to mark a new change in each and every one of you's life. Today is the beginning of a lot of good things to come to you if you listen to this and you yield to the words, right? So again, unlike every other person that I've spoken here, our journey as database administrators started same orientation like you guys are getting. But the difference that is going to make is that we decided to take actions on everything that we heard, right? So here at JoinIT, why we outstand ourselves above and we sit tall is because we don't only train, we train you, we take you from the training into the job market, we place you into the job market, and we move along with you in the job market, right? To ensure your professional growth. So my name is Galabe Emmanuel. I am the lead training instructor here at JoinIT, and my role is to help students with the interview prep and job application process. We are a team in this group, a team of 15 seasoned DBAs, those that have passed through this training, those that are now working, that have those cutting edge skills, to, represent JoinIT out there in companies and make companies proud, right? So what do? After your 6 months training here at JoinIT, we integrate you all into our interview prep sessions where we help each and every one of you build your resume. We tailor your resume to suit each and every one of you's profile. We place you under DBAs that are already working as mentors. We place you under a group, and then we take you on a 6 months, on a 3 months intensive interview prep training. What this does to you is that it exposes you, it brings you out from the fear, from the fever of sitting and talking in panels. It makes you talk, it makes you face the interviewers, and it makes you present what you have in you to the interviewers to be able to conquer the jobs. And how do we do it? We have our sessions and we go through almost everything possible thing that you're going to see out there as interview questions as far as database administration is concerned, and many more. We don't only go over technical skills, right? We do understand that our background from where we all are coming from, right? Taking interview is practically not I'll take the case of Cameroon. How many of us in Cameroon are exposed to taking interviews, right? It is rare. The only interviews that we have is what we call orals after you write concours for the most part. And even we have the private sector. But the private sector, how many persons really boast of taking interviews before even getting jobs at the private sector? Which means that we, at our base, we lack that training. And that is what we here at JoinIT, we understand that if we need to train locally and qualify globally, we need to be at the apex, at the top of our game to take our trainees from the comfort of the classroom to the comfort of what? Interview process and the comfort of keeping, maintaining, and growing in that job. And that is just what we do. So in our structure, you finish your training, you are transitioned to us, and the beauty is that we don't leave you until you succeed. There is no limit for you to be in the interview prep session. When we finish with our intensive 3-month session, we know that a new session or class is coming in that we're going to take Every JoinIT graduate is entitled to being in the interview prep process from the day he or she graduates right up to when he or she gets a job. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get that job. We want to stand by you. We want to present to you all we can to help you get the job. And what do we request from you? We request from you that please do what we ask you to do. Follow the instruction, be ready to work. We can only push you to that extent that you need to do your own part. Unfortunately, we cannot do your own part for you. The process, everybody that has spoken here, you realize that everything that has been laid down to them, if they follow it, they always end up smiling. And that is the reason why we have this excellent rate when it comes to our success, right? So again, when you start taking this training, our advice to you is that from day one, please take everything you learn serious from day one. You're not only going to need that to complete the training, you're not only going to need that to take the interview, but that is what you're going to be doing working as a database administration. That is why our training is a hands-on training, because whatever you learn is whatever you apply in the field. So when you start your training with us, take it seriously. Our goal is 100% success rate. And with the team of over 16 GDAs here, just making sure, trying to ensure that you land the job, taking you across the interview process, resume building, interview prep, one-on-one, hot seats. We put you on hot seats to make sure that you face the real interview situation with us. You take out the nervousness that comes with such situations. We evaluate, we give you feedback, and we mold you to stand firm, confident, and deliver the material that is in you, because our training instills in you the necessary and needed material for you to land any job in any company. And that is why our trainees don't only get jobs as GDAs. Most of our trainees start as senior database administrator. And this is what I tell everybody. Whether you have been doing database job for 10 years, 15 years, you taking our training here, you stand tall more than those that have been in companies for 15, 20 years. Do you know why? Most people get into companies, the companies may not have all the solutions that a database SQL, Microsoft SQL Server offers, all the tools that are being implemented when it comes to SQL. So let's say high availability. There are companies who go with just the basics, right? And if you get that position, you stay comfortable, you remain there. Our trainees come out learning everything. And when they are out there at the job market, they are more comfortable with everything compared to somebody that has been doing one thing for long. If you have been doing that one thing, you are not, learning, trying to distract yourself by learning new things, putting in effort, having your personal lab, working on it, then hey, when you go to an interview, you cannot beat our trainees, because still in our trainees, what become that DBA. And again, all our trainees, for the record, some have had paid raise just 1 month after, because of what they can bring to the table, right? So here at JoinIT, we are not just an institution, we are a family. We're gonna take you from day one, and our goal is not to leave you even when you get a job. Even when you get a job, we want you to come back and give back to the community. How do you give back to the community? By holding the hands of others who are struggling, teaching them your secret, teaching them the things you've done. And that is how we build that global IT community that we desire, right? So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you when we start the training and down to the interview prep session. My goal or my prayer for you is that you get your job before even reaching the interview prep, right? Because we have students who have done that. And it is not by magic, it's just by implementing what you are being taught. Halfway down the training, you are ripe and ready to start taking interview if you have been doing what is required of you. Because I trust our team, we keep doing our part and we do it to the best of our ability. So see you all, take action and make that life-changing decisions to start with us today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prof. Next, now we're going to hear from one of our instructors here, a very dynamic lady. I know you guys have heard too much from the men right now. Let's push over again to a very dynamic lady. Ms. Vanessa, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'll start by saying it's always exciting to see new faces. And I know with time, these faces will become either family and part of the community. And we all started once, like you guys, at the orientation, right? And we were all sold out or we're all excited, right? But before we got to the orientation, what are some of the challenges that we face? What are some of the challenges that people encounter before they even start an IT career, right? So today I go by the name Vanessa Bouquet, and I'm working as a senior database administrator. I'm a mentor at JoinIT, and I'm an instructor assistant as well, right? So when we look at IT as a whole is so broad. I remember in the beginning of the orientation, Prof. Bryant talked about how IT, a company has different departments, right? When you look at those different departments, you're like, oh, IT. Some people will come to you and say, do IT, but don't tell you precisely what to do in IT, right? When you look at IT, it's so broad. And when it comes to the broadness of IT, what happens? You have insufficient or lack of information, right? Insufficient or lack of information will prevent you from starting that IT career, right? Some of you are here because of maybe somebody told you, a mouth-to-mouth conversation. Some of you are here because you saw somebody posted something on just this, use a little bit of marketing and you're excited. You're like, oh, what is all this database administrator about? I want to do it, right? Some of you are here because maybe your parents, somebody told you, your brother or your sister is doing this training, right? You have that information, but is that information sufficient enough for you to start your IT career, right? Those are some of the questions you guys have in mind. This IT, what is it all about, right? Now that you have the information, now that you're here at the orientation, what are some of the challenges some people face learning something new, right? A lot of you are here as, I will just say some few things we have commonly said. We've talked about carpenter, we've talked about hairdresser, we've talked about a teacher, somebody like McDonald's, right? You're doing something already. You're already so comfortable in that area. And when you hear about IT, you're like, oh, I have no idea. Somebody like Elena, I don't even know how to create a folder, right? How can I do that? This is not something for me. I can't start this career. Those are some of the things you have in mind right now. And yeah, JoinIT, we're here to let you know that learning something new, especially IT, in JoinIT, it's very possible. And we have given you several reasons. We have shown you how we take you from zero to something where you will get an offer, not only an offer, but a senior position offer, right? We have heard all the beautiful stories. We have seen people that have left from nothing, and they are very, very, very respected professionals today, right? Learning something new is obviously one or two things that will stop us from starting an IT career. My very favorite when it comes to mentorship and training, right? If you look at every successful person out there, either they are playing soccer, basketball, they all have a mentor. They have somebody that is guiding them. They have somebody that is orienting them. The person must not be perfect in what they are doing, but they have that knowledge, right? Remember, here at JoinIT, we don't only give you what we have read, we give you what we have done, right? And you want to be part of an institution who have shown their success rate, right? A lot of us may not start an IT career today, excuse me. A lot of us may not start an IT career today because we are like, where will I go to? There's JoinIT, there's this school, right? Why don't you go for a school that have proven just success, right? At JoinIT, we don't only speak but we show, right? We can show I'm a product of JoinIT and I'm proud to be a product of JoinIT. Why not you, right? We have a lot of success stories here. And when it comes to mentorship at JoinIT, you have one-on-one sessions. I had a mentor that would call me even on Sundays. He was not obliged to, right? He took his phone and said, hey, Vanessa, how are you doing? How is the training going? How is the training going so far? How can I help you? What are some of the challenges you're facing? Okay, this is where I went wrong. During the training, I was like, do this and you will see the success will come, right? Today, I'm a product and I can tell you, this is where I went wrong. If you follow this step, you will do way better than me. And that's what I want for you, right? We're in a community today where if I'm making $50 an hour, I want you to make 60, right? We don't want to suppress people, but we want to lift each other up. That's why mentorship is a key factor for me, right? When we go to the next one, some of the challenges you guys are thinking right now, oh, I can't afford this, right? I have a lot of family commitment. A lot of us here are moms, some of us are dads, some of us are aunties, uncles, right? It means we have commitments, we have things we have to do, we have a lot going on, right? Most of us, our most famous words is, I'm busy, I don't have time. That we understand, right? When it comes to finances, what have JoinIT done to help the community? There's several ways in which you can pay your tuition, right? You will always have a one-on-one conversation with whoever is guiding you towards this process, telling you how you can do your instrumental payment. We have 2 weeks that is free, right? Meaning we are not all about the money, but we are all about giving out knowledge, right? When you look at your family commitment and everything, here at JoinIT, we are going to guide you. We're going to show you how to break down things so that you don't get overwhelmed. That brings us to the last challenges that some of us face, being overwhelmed, being overloaded, right? When you're being overloaded, there are very several things. Some of us, today is Saturday, you may have parties, you may have to go to, you may have birthdays. Some of us that are back home, you may have to go to the farm, you may have to go to the market. Those are all things that keep you busy, overloaded. What do we do at JoinIT to help you? We teach you how to prioritize. Some of us will always say we don't have time, but if you look at your screen time, you realize you have time. Some of us spend 12 hours swiping, right? But at the end of the day, we say we don't have time. It's just that we have not taught how to prioritize. At JoinIT will teach you how to prioritize. We teach you how to organize yourself so you will not feel overloaded. Because there is one thing I will tell you, Vera said it in the beginning, you will have to give up some things. You will have to push things aside. You may have to reduce your friends. You may have to, even your own family members' occasions, you may not have to attend them because you may have a group study, right? And there's one last point that is not among these, is one of the biggest challenges we have is commitment. Most of us are here today. We have heard all these beautiful stories. We are excited, we are jacked up. But in the next 2 days, guess what? We may not even remember what most people say because your commitment have gone down. The motivation is down, right? That is one of the biggest challenges we have, being committed to what we say. At JoinIT, Prof. Allen said, our word is our bond, right? Why not be your own word, be your bond, not to us, but to yourself? Because if you can keep a promise to yourself, you can succeed, right? At JoinIT, I will tell you, if you're committed, if you're dedicated, your success is few months away from you. This is January, this is 2023. Why don't make this year your year? And why don't make this year a success for you? So I will give you guys just one word. Take a leap of faith, trust us, and let's celebrate you in some few months. I was really excited talking to you all, and I really enjoyed the opportunity. Thank you, and I'll give you back to Prof. Ali.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Vanessa. If there's one thing you should take away from what Vanessa just said right now, as she just said, is take that leap of faith and make sure that if you have made the decision, you will get there. All right. I'm going to hand over back to Prof. Brian, and he's going to give you some more information as we come to a close.
Okay, thank you, guys. Do you think we all should close now, or we should continue for the next 30 minutes?
Keep up.
Continue.
Okay, I'm excited.
Continue, sir.
A lot of you are still here. No one is
Next
dropping.
classes.
So what actually happens is that our classes are 3 hours. Oops. Okay. High availability in action. So what actually happens is that our classes are 3 hours, right? Let me take you back there. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sir.
Yes, we can see your screen.
You all have actually been sitting in a class.
Yes, I can
today.
work.
You're sitting in class today. What I want to talk about now is the class schedule for the next session, right? Vanessa mentioned some of you are going to listen to this today, and that is it. You will not even think about when is the class starting. Should I enroll or not? So, the class schedule, we normally have classes 2 days a week, right? I'm going to start with those outside of Cameroon. We have classes 2 days a week. And this session that we are starting, we have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. These classes run from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. CST, right? So a class is 3 hours. That is why we always like to keep this orientation between 2 to 3 hours, so you actually gain, how an actual class will be like. What you have learned today, guys, believe me, just by listening to us, you must have learned something about IT. Then just think of it. If you need to continuously attend our classes like this for 6 months, just imagine what you will know in 6 months. You will have the knowledge that will help you make 6 figures. I'm not, that is just clear, right? The next thing is that because we really want to put in the hours to make sure you have that knowledge, every week we have a revision class, or call it catch-up class. And this session, that catch-up class is going to be on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. This catch-up class is helping all those who might be slow, or in fact, everybody. It's like a revision where we come on Saturday, we say that, okay, throughout the week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, this is what was taught. We now get into that interactive approach of making you explain to us what we have learned, correcting what you did not get right, and working on assignments. So you see that if you dedicate yourself to at least attend 2 classes a week, you can make it. If you can attend all the 3, then guys, you're on fire. Now, the classes are 3 hours. When you are in class, guys, it is more practical. So we give you the theory part, then we do a lot of hands-on. I am able to share my screen like this, and you'll be able to see me create a database. At your end, you also create that database. You don't want to miss classes. But of course, things will happen. If you miss a class, all the classes are recorded. So if you miss a class on Tuesday, you have Wednesday to at least watch the video, do the labs, reach out to your mentor. You're going to have groups. Each of these groups have mentors that are there to help you. That is why at JoinIT, when people finish their training, they don't go. They come back to help. Vanessa is here helping. Vera is here, everybody. Because we know that new students are coming and they need help. They also got help from people. So this is the class schedule. Now you need to work on yourself to be able to attend classes. Work on yourself. One of the major challenges that we have, people say that no, the schedule does not work for me. Guys, there is no guarantee that the one for the next session will work for you. And if you not get out of your comfort zone now, you will not get out of your comfort zone in the next session. This is January. Take that tough decision. I know people who quit their job and they are doing just over because they want to be able to attend classes. They sacrifice 6 months, and within the first 4 months, they are applying for jobs. So you need to make that commitment. We cannot adjust the schedule now. It is you to fit into the schedule. Yes, you can watch the videos, but we still encourage you to attend classes. So in UB, you know, which we're gonna have just the students that are gonna be taking training from Cameroon. We have a separate orientation just for us on the 28th, right? But just to have an idea, your classes are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The difference here is that UB has classes 3 days a week because their training is more. We have included Azure there because we want them to get both the SQL and the Azure training and be able to write the certification at the end of 6 months. So that is why they have 3 days a week, right? And I believe those in Cameroon, they have enough time. Most of them, they just go to school, but here we go to school and we work, right? So what are some of the things that we need from you?
Are you guys serious?
Say that again. Most of the things that we want. Oh, was that a question?
No, please go ahead, Prof. I think someone was unmuted. Please go ahead.
Okay. So we need, once you understand and you are able to fit into this schedule, guy, that is the first step in you becoming successful. Don't complain, my job does not do this. My job, I don't have time. I will need to request time off. This schedule has been out since 2 months ago. Work on it, request this time from your jobs, quit certain things that you do and focus more here. Expectation, your commitment and dedication towards the training. If you are committed, it's just like when you're going to school in Cameroon, right? And you're in opposite to write advanced. What is your focus? Your focus is to be able to pass your advanced level. If you get in here, your focus should be finish the training. I tell people when you come in, leave that job. There are millions of jobs. Learn in such a way that you have the skills. By the time you finish the training or you go through the training with the skills, jobs will be running for you, as Barbara mentioned, right? Then you attend classes and watch class videos. Even if you attend a class today, after today, sit again, watch this video, practice, and take down notes. You're going to do a lot of group work and assignments. You have to be able to work on your assignments, projects, and research. IT now is all about research. So once you start the first 2 weeks, which is free, we teach you how to do research, right? Just that class that we offer you on how to do research, a lot of people just take that as an advantage to start learning things ahead of time because you can go online and you see everything. We are just there to guide you. Someone mentioned that the class timing is difficult. So the class time is the things that we have already looked at. For example, the people in Cameroon, due to the internet, internet is not the best, right? If you put the class in Cameroon at 12 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening, what happens? There's a lot of traffic in the internet and you cannot even attend a class well. So the early morning time, that is what we sat with the University of Boya and we're like, okay, this works well. The students, they dedicate this time, they get up at 3 and they study. This is an online class, so it's not a challenge. Learn to fit in there, sacrifice that 6 months and get what you are looking for, right? We cannot put these classes at 8 p.m. That is when everybody in Cameroon is back from work and they are on their internet, and internet is not even working. We put it early in the morning so that you can get up at 3, you take 3 hours, concentrate in class, then maybe you prepare and you go to work. People in Cameroon don't understand. This is the US approach that we are bringing to you guys. In the US, people work day and night, but they still find time to take this training. People go to work. When I got here, I used to work 2 jobs, one from 8 a.m. in the morning to 6, and then the other one from 6 a.m. in the morning to 2 midnight, right? But I still find time to take my training. And because I have taken the training today, I don't need to work all those 2 jobs. So don't look at the time at 3 a.m. and say, no, it does not work. It works perfectly well. If you are a student that wants to learn, it works perfectly well. Get out of your comfort zone, take the training, and celebrate later. The next thing now is let us look at the training fee. This training, we have subsidized this and make it very affordable for you guys. Like I mentioned, look at this, 3,000 for those in the US and Canada. It's not 3,000 to come and learn for 6 months. It's 3,000 to be in an IT community that after your 6 months, we take you for interview prep. After your interview prep, you still have on-the-job support. After on-the-job support, you have the ability to better yourself by mentoring others. That is just it. If we just want to say, come after 6 months, we take 3,000 and go. After the training, you go and pay another person to help you with your resume. You pay another person to help you with interview preps. But we do all of this, we give you a package like that. And the good thing is that this can be paid instrumentally. The first 2 weeks of the training, because classes start on the 30th. The first day of class is going to be on the 30th of this month. So you see that from the 30th, you don't need to pay anything. You need to attend classes the week of the 1st, the week of the 7th, and your first tuition is due around the 12th or the 15th. That is when you pay something. And you pay the first installment of $750. After that, you now make monthly payments of $500. The same with the people in Europe. Your first installment is $750. The balance of $2,200 to $1,250, you pay it in 3 installments. Middle East, that is $1,500. Your first installment will give that over to you as well. The training in University of Boya, the tuition is $310,000. 10,000 registration, that is almost equivalent to $600. And that one, you pay it there's a bank account that we're gonna send to you once you apply to make your payment. The only difference here is that for those in the University of Boya, you have just 2 payments. And the first payment is due first day of class. This is managed by the University of Boya. It's not managed by us. And all our trainees in Cameroon have to go through that process. The beauty here is that after you finish from UB, guys, you get a certificate of completion from that state university. You can use that to apply for jobs. If you come to the US or you apply for an international job, you can actually present that yes, these are my credentials, right? And we are trying to get Cameroon become like US when it comes to job placement, where they're how to hire DBAs. And it is exciting. My meeting with the University of Boya that took place last week, we have a pathway on how to get this done. So just stand by, for an international career fair where we'll present all of you in Boya to recruiters. Recruiters or companies will be coming for you, DBAs, to be able to hire you, not you running to companies. We have a process in place. We have a vision to actually make this explode in Cameroon, where after our training, you will not need to be moving around looking for jobs or knocking doors, right? So these are some basic informations. All the classes are online. You don't need to be on campus. Even if you're in UB or in Cameroon, you still attend online like you are attending today like this. This is an online instructor-led class because you connect with us. I can share my screen. You can see my screen and everything, right? So everything is online. So those who have applied through UB, we're going to provide you, if you have not received an email yet, you will receive an email that gives you the next steps, how you need to make your first payment and everything. Make the first payment, scan, email a report like that. Those who are not attending from Cameroon, now you are in the group. The first day of class, we're going to provide you more information on how to make payments. Okay? We are not driven by the money. We are driven by the knowledge that we are sharing. That is Vanessa, JoinIT 2023. So don't call me to talk about Brian. Let's talk about the tuition. We are not talking about tuition. Call me to tell me, Brian, I want you to help me to get a job in 4 months. I'll advise you. I will guide you. Don't call me to say that, Brian, let us withdraw, let us reduce my training fee, or I don't have this, I don't have this. We will not entertain that conversation. Okay? Because we know exactly.
Excuse me, Brian.
Yes, go ahead.
I still need to talk about the tuition. I've not understood, because I don't, like you say, the people in the US and Canada, they pay $3,000 US. Those in Europe, they pay $2,000 US. But all of us still study the same thing. We use our time, everything, but you discover that the difference between the people in US and that's a whooping $1,000. And we still study the same thing 3 times a week. And at the end, we're still striving to get the same thing. So I don't know why that one is too expensive. I don't know how it was calculated.
So can I say something? Again? Can I say something here? I'm based in the UK, and I understand the concern when we start talking about the difference in tuition. But I want to make this point. The same way people are paid in the US, for example, for doing this same course, it's not the same way people are paid in the UK. There are 2 different economies. It's not the same, like you will not have too many that it's not as exposed or as present in the UK like it's in the US. There are different economies. And I really think that I think that the difference is really the tuition doesn't really matter when it comes to what you achieve thereafter. I can tell you sometimes the maximum.
You said people in the UK, there's what, I don't know what you were saying, but from what I got from this orientation, you can work from anywhere, which means you can still be in the UK and get a job in the US.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna.
Can I
please,
if you don't mind,
Hold on. Everybody, I'm controlling. Alan, mute everybody. Mute everybody.
Yes. Everybody's muted. Brian, please go ahead and unmute and talk.
This orientation is not to discuss cost. This is an internal JoinIT solution management decision. We are not here to discuss the cost. Someone should not also ask me why are those in Cameroon paying 3,000 or 300,000. So the prices are fixed. If you are in US or Canada, this is what you pay. We understand there are different economics. That is very clear. We understand the challenges or the benefits that us in the US we get. We understand the availability of jobs in the US as opposed to other sides of the world, but that is not a discussion with this panel today. This panel is orientation based on your location, pay your tuition accordingly. If you take the training in Cameroon and you happen to get an international job like McDonald's did, then that is help that we have provided to you. People in the US, you have a lot of opportunities. The training could even go up to 5,000. Right? We cannot do that for those in Cameroon. These are things that internally at JoinIT, we have looked at it and we are establishing them. It is not your place to talk about, but it's good to bring up concerns like this, but it's not the place of this panel to decide what the training fee is going to be. So with that being said, these are the things. If you have further concerns, you can always reach out to us. Right? Reach out to us with your concerns. You know, we have an open door policy. But it's not a place for us to discuss this today. So with that being said, Alan, I think we have 20 more minutes to round up with this. I'll have Ghislaine, who is one of us, right? Then I'll give room for questions. I'm gonna give room for questions after Ghislaine has spoken so that we just answer your questions and get along. So, Alan, you muted me?
Yeah, Ghislaine, can you?
No, one moment. Before Ghislaine comes in, right, so we'll be rounding up. I just want to provide to you all the computer requirements for this training. If you look at, take a picture of this. The first thing is that you need a Windows computer. It could be a Windows 10 or Windows 11. The Mac or model does not really matter. But don't ask us if you can use a MacBook or an Apple. No, it does not work. You cannot. It can only be a Windows computer with Windows Pro operating system. You can start with a Windows Home operating system and later on will upgrade. You need at least 16 GB of RAM. Remember, the computer you have will actually help you be successful in this training. You need storage. Storage this time, anything above 500 GB will work. You need an external monitor. An external monitor in the sense that now you see me on my screen, right? But if I'm sharing another screen and performing a task, how do you do it if you have just one screen? So we are not saying that buy two computers. If you have a laptop, just go buy an external monitor like what you see here. Then you can get an HDMI cable to link the two. That way you have two displays. You can watch the instructor do what he's doing on this end, and on the other end, you can actually practice. This is a requirement that you must meet. If you want to buy a computer, if you buy a computer that has 8 GB, most computers that you buy have 8 GB of RAM. You can actually take it to Best Buy or anywhere, a computer shop, they can upgrade that to 16. Just because you need enough memory to be able to install SQL Server. This training will take you as if we set up an environment to reflect an actual working environment. And that is why you need this computer specification. Right? So this is, take a picture of this, make sure you have this computer requirement, right? So now, the next steps, what are the next steps before Ghislaine comes in, right? Work on your schedule to be able to attend classes. You already have the class schedule in front of you. Work to be able to attend classes. If you have not filled out the online application form, please go ahead and fill that because we're gonna have your information and send you material, right? Get a computer that meets the requirements. Get your payment ready. Stay connected. After this, you have the WhatsApp group. If you have not been added in the orientation WhatsApp group, please go ahead and request that. Alan will share the link here where you can actually join, right? Or Helena will put her number there. Send a message to Helena. Helena, please put your number there so they can send a message for you to add them in the orientation group, right? The next thing is, yeah, so those groups are going to be shared there. I'm going to get room to answer all your questions, so just bear with us. At this point, I would like to bring in Ghislaine, who is one of us here, instructor assistant, someone who has been very helpful in the team, to tell us, Ghislaine, you know, coming from, with English not being your first language, Ghislaine, how did you go through this training? What were some of your challenges and how did you overcome them?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ghislaine Photo, and today I'm working as a database administrator with one of the biggest hospitals in the US. I joined JoinIT. It was on March last year, and coming in the French background, it was very, very challenging for me because English is not my first language. But what really helped me is, after the training, I enrolled for the class and I got my welcome package. Through my welcome package, I have all the class schedule with, all the schedule for the class. What really helped me is, before I attend the class, I will go through my schedule, and then I will check what subject do you have to study today. Then I'll go online, try to do my own research on it, try to watch some video on those topics. By the time I get in the class, he won't be too new for me. At least I already have an idea. Then when I get in the class, I'm not totally lost. And then after that, I have to mostly work with my classmate, with my group. I don't believe during those, during the orientation, you must hear like my classmate work with your group. Yeah, those people who really, really helped me a lot, because in English not being my first language, I have to push much effort. And the challenging part was like, I was ready to move to the next step, apply for a job. And sometimes they would tell me like, hey, yeah, you have a skill, but the way you speak English is not good. And I record to my interview, then I send it to my mentor, I send it to the my instructor. They listen to it and they told me, hey, yeah, for this question, this is how you can answer it. And then I request 101 with Prof. Galabe, with Vanessa, with all the instructor, and that really, really helped me a lot. They pushed me, they really pushed me out. They helped me to express myself, and they told me, don't be afraid during your interview to let them know that, hey, English is not my first language. I speak 3 languages. And trust me, that really worked. At some interview, I will let them know like, hey, English is not my first language. I speak 3 languages. They were impressed. They will ask me, how many languages do you speak? And doing that during the interview, they know like, okay, this is someone, he knows what he's doing, but maybe he doesn't only have the right word to express it. Yeah. If you are thinking about taking this training and you think like English might be, or the barrier language might be a challenge, I will always say, like, I remember when Prof. Allen said one day, like, no matter what, it's a SQL language, the same language. Just try to master the concept and know what you are doing. Because no matter if SQL is in English or in Chinese, it's the same language. Just know what you are doing, and it's what really, really helped me. And today I can be like, I'm working, and after less than 6 months, I got like a 3 offer. I was the one who decided which company I'm gonna work with. And all what I can say is just like, thank you so much for JoinIT, and don't be afraid, don't take it as a challenge. And we are all here to learn. We are all here to support any challenge you can face on that way. You can always reach out. Thanks again to JoinIT, and welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Ghislaine. Thank you so much. You see, this is someone who speaks other languages, taking a training in English, and he's able to go and secure a job because he knew exactly what he was looking for. He knew his limitations, and he did everything to be able to overcome them. One of the things that he did was he was able to reach out to people, and JoinIT gave him a platform to be able to express himself. We gave him an opportunity to teach other students. By so teaching, he was now able to, have a mastery in English to express himself. So at this point, Alan, I would like to take questions. If there's a question that has not been answered in the chat, raise your hand up. I'll try to take as many questions as possible. I know we still have Chi Brian here who wants to say a word.
I've been raising my hands up for some time right now.
Okay, that's fine. It's now that we are taking questions. Lawrence, if your hand is up, I'll give you the floor. So I'm going to start with Clement.
Okay. Sorry, before Clement says something, please, the chat is open. Write your questions on the chat and we'll answer them from there too.
Yeah,
please go ahead.
If you can write on the chat, Alan will read and I'll answer. It's going to be easier. We can see multiple questions. So let me take Clement. Clement, we cannot hear you. Look like your audio is not connected. While you're figuring that out, yes, Lawrence, go ahead.
Greetings to everyone. I'm Lawrence. I reside in Luxembourg. For those of you, some of you will know about Luxembourg. I'm originally from Cameroon. But I'm sorry, Prof, I want to come back to this question, which is, I found it very important and necessary. The lady, she raised the question about the tuition fee. Sorry, once again, because she said we should not mention about that, but I want to come back there again, if you permit me.
Go ahead, Lawrence, ask the question.
Thank you. Like you said, those who are in Cameroon. So listen, me, currently right now I'm in Cameroon for vacation. I'm in Cameroon. Okay, let's say I reside in Luxembourg. And I said I live in Cameroon because I want to pay a low tuition fee. How does that work? Like, how do you people find out like this person is not in Cameroon or is in Europe? So that's what I want to know. And I also have a question, because you mentioned something like a certification, like the UB, those students who are raised, like who did the registration through UB will have a certification. Is it that it's only those who did like through UB will have the certification, or others as well will be eligible to have the certifications? So these are my two questions.
Those are very beautiful questions, Lawrence. So the first thing is, yeah, people try to always use advantage of others, right? But that is not the case here. The tuitions in Cameroon, we know that these people in Cameroon, we have a system in place, how registration is being done. You need to apply, you have a place to go and but you need to go make a bank deposit, send those receipts to us. And when you're making a bank deposit, that is on your name. We also track this through your phone number. Of course, you can go to Cameroon and you can still go to the UK and you're using a Cameroon number. But we have a system in place where we can define where you are actually attending the training from. From Zoom, I can tell you what is your IP address, what country you are actually attending the IP address from. And we have actually captured like 2 people who are trying to do this. So don't even try it, because we can pick that out, right? So if you are in Cameroon and you start the training in UB and it happens that you travel, that is another ballgame. When you take the training in Cameroon, your name, you have, I don't know, the number that UB issues to you, you have a student number in the University of Boya that they can track. If you're over there, it's impossible for you to actually do that. The graduation in UB is on campus, the way we organize it. So if you're not there, you'll not be able to graduate in the first place. Now, regarding certifications, when you take this training from us at JoinIT, we are not accredited to give you Microsoft certifications. JoinIT is we are just Microsoft trainers, and the certification for a DBA is offered to you by Microsoft. So you need to write the official Microsoft cert. So anyone that takes this training writes the official Microsoft certification in database administration. But now those in UB, you have now an extra certificate to show that you actually went and you took this training in a university. In addition to that certificate from UB, you still have to write the Microsoft certification. If you are taking this training outside of UB, like you in Europe now, after your training, we give you the tips to write the DBA certification, and we issue a certificate of completion from JoinIT. That one, you cannot use it in another institution. Maybe you are trying to transfer your credit. But if you take what is coming from a accredited university like UB and you are looking at getting into another college, those one adds up towards your credit, right? Does that answer your question, Lawrence?
Yes, thank you. But I still have one more question, please. I know there are a lot of people who have questions as well. Just one more.
Okay.
So just yeah, like those who are currently working right now, do they have like the certification from the Microsoft?
Good question. No. So in IT is different. Let me take, for example, in nursing, for you to practice as a nurse, you need to write a state exam or something, right? And have your nursing license to be able to go to a hospital. With IT is different. IT, what companies look at now is the skills that you have. How many years of experience do you have? Can you install SQL Server? Right? Now, if you have a certification in IT, it's an advantage on your resume. It's not a requirement to work as a database administrator. All my certifications I have now, that is after I started working. So once you are going through the training, you apply for jobs, you are already working, from there you can start learning and taking your cert. So it's different from things like nursing or accounting where you need to pass a CPA exam to be able to practice as a CPA. IT is completely different. IT goes with what can you do? What years of experience? Come and help us manage our databases. Can you do it? Yes or no? Okay? So you don't need a cert to start working, but our training prepares you to write the Microsoft certification. Tambong. Clement, it looks like your audio is not. Put your question in the chat. Clement, we cannot hear you. Your audio is not connected.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, Clement.
Yeah, I'm right here. This is Tambong.
Hold on, Tambong. Let me take Clement first. Clement, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My question is about the money. Somebody introduced me to this place, and when the person told me, he said it's 1,500, and I'm surprised. It's $2,000 now. Currently, I'm in Europe. I'm in Finland. But I'm surprised. Like I've complained before in the chat in the WhatsApp there.
No, that is a very good. That's a very good concern, Clement. Yes, the students that actually enrolled last year, when the last 2 years, we considered COVID and a lot of stuff. And even the DBA training that you're taking about 3,000, we had dropped it down to 2,500. But starting 2023, those prices went back to what we want them to be. Okay, the people that started last year in 2020, they actually paid 1,500, right? But now those are the fees. We consider COVID when things were tough, and we consider a lot of stuff. With the high demand now as well, there is need for us to readjust the prices to be able to accommodate the resources in place to help you succeed. Okay?
Well, I don't know what to say. Like you said, that this forum is not to discuss about the money.
Yes.
For me, I think it's way too much, but I don't know what to say.
Okay. Yeah, of course. If you don't have, the money is not there. Even if
I have
you're
a
paying
question.
500, even if you're paying 500, it's way too much, right? But this is a training that we have structured to be able to help you people. If you need to go, I myself, I have a student loan that I went to school for over 30-something thousands. I went to school for 2 years. After the school, they were paying me $16 an hour.
It's easy in America to access student loan, not in Europe.
Right. So, but those are the fees, like I mentioned. It's not a place to discuss that today. So the fees are like that. And if you have any concerns, you can always reach out to us. Okay.
It's all right.
Tambong.
No worries. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. My question is, how do you accommodate people who already have, students who already have some advanced knowledge on SQL database administration, but lack the technical skills probably to strike the interview. So yeah, how can you accommodate?
Perfect. So Temo, the way we do that, the first thing that we do when you start our training, we identify those people that are already advanced. Your first day in class, we're gonna have a placement test where we can rate everybody's knowledge, and we put you in your groups based on that. That is why some people get job 2 months, 3 months into the training. Once we have seen that, okay, this person is good like this, we provide you videos, right, of clients ahead of you and guide you on how to start applying for jobs immediately. But the bottom line here is that the first 3 months of the training, whether you have what advanced knowledge, everybody has to sit in for those first 3 months of the training. If you are a fast learner now, after that, you can start going ahead. right? I don't know if that answers your question.
Not clearly, sir. I'm talking about someone who has already, let's say, for example, okay, maybe I'm coming in now. I already know the best practices in installing SQL Server and all of that. And probably I just want to get to the point where I need that help to get the interview going. Yeah, so because kind of like if I have to go back and start learning how to install SQL Server, setting up availability, clustering and all of that, it's like taking me like.
Right, I get your question. I'm going to interrupt. So we have a lot of questions. So the thing here is that we understand there are people who have taken training from somewhere else and they want to come and be part of our interview prep. So if you have taken your training and you want to just be part of the interview prep, yes, we can accommodate you in the interview prep, but that will be based on an evaluation. We would put you on a one-on-one interview. We'll interview you, will see what you can do. Then we're going to charge you just to run into the interview prep for 3 months, right? So there's an option.
Okay.
You have already taken your SQL training, log into class the first day, bring this up, they will direct you to the Galabase team where you actually enroll, not in the full training, but just for the interview prep part of it.
Yeah, that answers my question. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes, Therese. Frank, I'm coming to you. Yes, Frank, go ahead. Therese is muted.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. My name is No Franklin Bulawa. I'm from Northwest Province, Ancom to be precise, and I'm residing in China. So I have listened through all the explanations and it's quite exciting. And I wanted to ask if there are downsides to this job. I mean, like what risk should expecting to face in the field? Because so far so good, we've been presented just the good part of it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. The first thing is Isarabobe. Franklin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Isarabobe. Thank you.
That's right.
Anyway, happy to know that you're from Com and from Com as well. So, Franklin, there is no, looking at getting into IT generally, there is no downside. The only thing you see is you're building yourself and you are getting competitive, right, in the job market. Now, regarding the challenges or the downsides of this training, you can look at it in so many ways. Downside in the sense that, okay, what if I start working as a DBA today? What challenges am I going to face? Right? So you don't really face challenges. Any challenge you face in IT is a learning opportunity for you to study more. So there's really no challenge that you're going to be facing. Yes, during the training, what challenges do you face? You face challenges with the time difference attending classes. You face challenges with some of the assignments, which you have a system in place to help you. You face challenges with you miss a class because you don't have time and all of that. You face challenges because you have to work. You face challenges because you don't have the money to pay your fee when that is due. Those are just the challenges. Apart from that, there is really no challenge acquiring knowledge, right? And once you acquire knowledge, you are able to implement it. It now just becomes something that generates income for you, okay?
All right, so, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Helene.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm just driving, so maybe I missed something, but I have just one question. My question is, do you guys gonna drive people to get a job? Like after the training, there is like any way that you can help people to find a job, like interview, whatever? That is my first question. And the second one is, what about the certification? Like after the training, I know that there is no certificate to get, right? But my question is, do you guys help people to do the certification, the exam with Microsoft?
Right. So the first question, do we help people to do with certification? Yes, our training is structured for you to get the hands-on skills, and we also prepare you to write the official Microsoft certification. So we help you with that. We tell you what cert to write, we provide you materials, and we give you a timeline to write that certification, right? That's the first thing. Regarding jobs, we help you to work on your resume after the training. We help you throughout your interview preparatory process, right? We help you how to apply for jobs. So that is how we help you. We don't take an interview for you, right? Because all our trainees, you have the knowledge to be able to take that interview and secure your job. We do all of that for you, right? Another thing that we do here at JoinIT is on-the-job support. Even when you have your job, we are still there to support you at no cost. This takes me back to the question about cost. Look at it this way. You see Ghislaine there. Ghislaine paid a tuition for $50,000. Today he's making 1 month, he's making like $7,000, right? He does not come back to tell JoinIT that, oh, take, this is what happened. It is his money. We at times we even celebrate him and say, Master, go and drink a bottle. Look at McDonough from Cameroon. McDonough, I believe he actually took this training for 50,000. He did not complete, he was not able to complete his tuition. But today, how much is he making? He does not come back to give JoinIT 5,000. You know, look at people in Europe who have had these jobs. They took the training for 1.5. They don't come back and they don't seek to say that this training was expensive, because by the time you have gone through and you make good use out of it, you yourself, you look for other people to sponsor to take the training. It will not be about the cost. It will not be about you coming to give money to JoinIT. Other institutions, they will put this training at 3,000 and they'll tell you that when you get your first job, right, what happens is that you give them a percentage of your salary. There are institutions that does that, but JoinIT does not. Throughout your training, when you are going through background checks and everything, JoinIT helps you with your reference checks. We help you with your the employment verification, because you need to put somewhere that you have worked. We do that to you at no cost. So the issue today is not discussing cost, because we know exactly the package that we have. And I can state here without any fear of contradiction that the training that is going to be starting next after this, the tuition for those in Europe is going to go up again by 500, and those in the US is going to go up by 500. That is something that's already been put in place to be rolled out during our next training, because we know what we offer. Our success rate is there. We know what we put in place. I'm going to take
Brian
Simpson.
Brian Alain here. So there's something that is very important. Please, can you talk about the people who are taking the training from Cameroon and those who are thinking of not going with UB and taking same training as the rest of the world, because there's a little bit of a confusion there for some of them.
Okay, so anyone, as long as you are in Cameroon, we will not accommodate you to take the training as if you are outside of Cameroon. As long as you're in Cameroon, this is a partnership that you have with the University of Ghana, and it is for your good. If you're in Cameroon, you have to pay the 2 installments. Go through the University of Boya, follow the registration process. That is for your good. You cannot skip that to do the training. There is a way that JoinIT wants to empower people in Cameroon. There's a way that JoinIT wants to get into the Cameroon economy to make IT and these trainings that we are giving you to be meaningful. And that is one of the steps that we are taking. It's just a baby steps. If you're in Cameroon, we encourage you to go through UB. And the number of students actually that we take from Cameroon is limited, because what we have in stock for them, we cannot give that to everybody. This session, we have more than 90 people applying from Cameroon. We cannot take 90 people in the training because we'll not be able to accommodate them. We take those that will show the seriousness, because the package we have, they will definitely benefit from that. And if you're outside, if you're a Cameroonian, not residing in Cameroon, take it as any other person. But as long as you are residing in Cameroon, you have to go through the University of Boya. Okay, Thompson, Simpson, your hand is up.
Yeah, greetings to everyone. This is Simpson.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have some question about I'm so sorry. You said the platform is not about talking about the payment, but I just want to, like, I don't know, I just want to ask if it is possible for us to do it this way, like make it that if we are paying $3,000 for this class, $3,000 should be for everybody, because when you start saying that the people in Europe, they are paying 2,000, the one in UK, they are paying 1,000, the ones in America, they are paying 3,000, there's gonna be a lot of confusion right there. You're gonna kick a lot of people out, because The one in Cameroon, they are paying 2,000. So it's better for us to just make it that the class, the fees for this class is 3,000 or 4,000 or whatever the cost might be to everybody. I don't know if it makes sense.
Unfortunately, that is not something that we do. Like I mentioned, if someone is taking enrolling in the University of Boya from Cameroon, how much do they pay for tuition? If someone from Equatorial Guinea still enrolls in UB, you are coming as an international student, how much do you pay? So those dynamics are different. At this point, I want each and every one of you to concentrate where you are residing, and that is your tuition. Don't think about another person. Even if we put this training free for those in Cameroon, you people will not come and say that, let us make the training free for everyone because those in Cameroon are taking it for free. So concentrate where you are. Your tuition has been made to you, and that is what you have to pay. Do not try to outplay JoinIT Solutions to say that, oh, I'm in the US, but I'll say that I'm in Europe to pay this. It will not work that way, right? Be honest to yourself. Integrity is the first thing. If you try to break in through the back door, no, I'm not, this is not specifically for you, Simpson. Your question has been answered. It is not going to be possible like that. The training fees are different per the region where you take the training. That is a final decision, and that is what the JoinIT management is presenting to you. Just be focused on where you are. Now, generally to everybody, we count on your integrity to understand that this is how much you are paying for this training, because we want you to be able to get the best out of it. Okay? So let me take Gavi, your hand has been up. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hi, thank you. So I just my question is related to the time zone. So I understand, I've seen the class schedule. I'm confused as to the timing. So I see CST and EST. I'm sure you've noticed I reside in the US. I'm currently in Arizona. And I was so I'm looking at the time, and I don't know which time zone applies to me, for example. So I was hoping you could clarify that. And if I may also add, I'm not going to complain about the money. I understand that this is, and I understand the value package you're offering is significantly more than what you've proposed. I think that the price is more than acceptable. But I was just saying, like, just in case, like, because I'm working, but I work at Amazon, and sometimes with my you have other things that go on, and there may be a time. I'm not trying to encourage it, but there could be an issue where you are unable to make a full payment at a certain time. Would there be a strategy in place where you can allocate somebody time to make up that payment and not cut them off from this valuable education you're offering?
That's very outstanding, Gary. Yes, so definitely we can work with you on an individual basis. There are people who come into this training and they have genuine concerns that this is what I'm going through. We look at that at individual levels. We are all about building a community. Like I mentioned, you see, when it comes about money, I really don't want to have that discussion, because at JoinIT, I'm not focused about money. I'm focused about the community. If there's a way to give this training to each and every one of you for free, we'll do it. All of us teaching this training, we have our jobs. I get paid so well. Barbara does, Alan does. We have our money. So we are doing this, putting together a company, putting together something that can help build a community, right? So when we have those genuine cases, we take care of them. Regarding the time zone, you are in Arizona, right? So I'm in Arizona now. Most of us, we came in Arizona. I, Alan, Barbara, most of us are here, right? It's just a coincidence, because one of our instructors, Prof. JT, lost his dad, and we are here to, for the wakekeeping and all of that. So the time here, normally your class, Arizona is an hour behind, right? So if classes are 8 CST, then in Arizona it's gonna be 7 o'clock. Okay?
Just to add a little something there, Garvey. Arizona is PST. So all you need to do is just check. When they say 8 CST, just take your phone. Oh, I'm muted. What I'm saying is Arizona is PST. So when they tell you 5 MST or 5 CST or 5 EST, just go to Google and say, hey, Google, what is 8 PST in Arizona time? Or what is 5 CST in Arizona time? You get the information.
Okay, so basically here it says 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. CST on Tuesday. So that means for me, it will be 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., correct?
Perfect.
Correct.
Okay, okay, thank you. I just wanted to make that clarification. All right.
And by the time you join, Gavi will introduce you to DBAs that are already in Arizona here. So you have a lot of help. We have a strong DBA community in Arizona. People we have trained who are working as DBAs, and that is why we are here today. Yes, Therese. Therese, your hand has been up. So guys, yep, this was scheduled for 3 hours. I think we are 6 parts, but it's been so interesting, you know. Is there any other question that we did not address? Bernardo, yes, your hand is up, and Florence. Bernardo, you are muted.
My hand has been up a while.
Okay, Justin, oh, I will take that. Bernardo.
Yeah, now you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, my name is João Bernardo. I'm from Angola. Yeah, so currently I live in United States, Austin, Texas. So my question is concerning about the fluency in a language, in English. So for those who don't speak like English fluently, like me, so my first language is not English. So so I'm gonna face some issues, you know. So my question is, you guys have like a flexibility and some persons for those who doesn't speak like a fluently English? That's my question. The second question, second question is concerning to the groups of working. So I was seeing like a lot of people on the group having like issue, which group I have to join, which one. So living in Austin, Texas. So which group I have to join, you know? Yeah, that is my question.
So good question. Are you in any WhatsApp group that says new student orientation?
Yes, I have. Let me check.
Yeah, that is fine. If not, just put your number in the chat. We'll add you. Everybody that's in that group, you know, will give you communication on when classes are and everything. Then eventually we'll put you all in the actual class group now. So regarding your English not being your first language, that is Ghislaine. The reason why we bring people like Ghislaine to talk is for you to understand English is not his first language. I have Angolans who are DBS today. I have Rosaria, I have Jose, multiple JoinIT. We have like 3 instructors in JoinIT who are Angolans. So that should not be a concern for you. By the time you start class, you'll be able to talk with other Angolans who have gone through the training and they're able to have their job. To you, it's actually an added advantage. When you go in an interview, the way you introduce yourself, you make the interviewer understand that my first language is actually not English, it's my first language, but I'm gonna, you know, if you hear me saying certain things in this way, know that this is my background. That is an additional advantage for you because they understand that you now speak multiple languages and they want to bring you into the company. Another thing that you understand is that when you have multiple languages, you use that as an interview approach. They can ask you, tell me a time you had a very difficult challenge and how you were able to overcome that. Use your aspect of language. Tell them that when I got to the US, I could not speak English. But now I learned it was challenging. I learned on my own and I am proud of overcoming that. That tells the interviewer that you are somebody who is determined and you can take something and do it. And that definitely is going to give you the job. Okay, Bernardo. So don't worry about that. We know how to address it.
All right, thank you.
Florence.
Hi, everyone. I
Hi,
just
Florence.
want to double check. Hi, I want just to double check with you because I'm French speaking and I'm living in Washington, D.C. I just want to double check with the hour because for no reason, I don't want to be late on the class, so please help me, tell me exactly what's my time.
Washington, D.C. Alan, what time is that?
Actually, it's 3:10.
So now it's 3:10, so you're an hour ahead. So your classes are gonna be from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Okay?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, good job. And being French speaking, you have seen Ghislaine there. Vanessa also is French speaking. So you'll be able to
Yay.
do class and interact with people who have taken this
It is-
training being French speaking as well, okay?
By the way, Giselle is a person who give me all that motivation. So I can't wait. I can't wait to learn a lot about that magical IT system. He over my head every single day. I don't even know what to do. Please, I can't wait to start on Tuesday. Thank you, Giselle, to
with
push
that
me over.
determination, Florence, you will make it. With that determination, that is all you need. It means you have already made that call that this is what I want to do. And that is how the human brain is, right? If you have made that decision, you will go with it. Yes, I'm going to take Justin. Guys, you all had a lot of questions. This is the highest orientation that we have had questions, guys, which is good. You know, we are educating you now. Justin, go ahead.
Well, thanks for having me. I want to first of all commend your effort, that of giving back to community. You are out here and trying to make the Cameroonian child take a move towards the cloud, and that is something I must commend wholeheartedly. Thank you so much for that. And those who were arguing about the fee change difference in Cameroon, I think all of us here, if we start something, we would emulate what they are doing here. Give smaller amounts for them to pay. If those that are in the diaspora can even make up, the better. Thank you very much. That's the best thing I had when I came here, sir. But coming to my concern, I don't know whether you guys only treat SQL. Part of my question was answered when some other person raised concern that if you are somebody coming from the field and you want to get into this prestigious field of handling what we uphold more dearly than money, data. So I'm coming here because I want to focus on that part, but I have quite some certifications already. I'm a cloud certified solutions architect and a general cloud practitioner. But when I heard of your institution, I thought I could make myself better at holding data. So that way I'll be a better person in the field than somebody who didn't come here. So the part of the question that was answered, I know if I join your classes, I'm gonna have more orientation or the guidance as to when I can come in, the hands-on, and I don't know. But I'm asking, are you guys only into SQL databases? What about NoSQL? I'm just wondering.
That's a good question. You see, we are growing, right? And the reason why we are mainly SQL now and cloud computing, right? We teach SQL Server, we teach Azure, right? We teach AWS as well, okay? So we offer all of these three things. But the main thing is that for someone to enroll in our Azure class, we want to make sure you have this fundamental, this prerequisite of managing things on-prem. Azure is more of the cloud, right? So we do offer that, but we try to take people from this absolute beginner focusing on SQL Server Database Administration. After 6 months, you can now enroll in our Azure class, which is cloud computing. Our AWS class is also open. Anyone can get into AWS. And you bear with me that if you just leave now, you want to do AWS, you know, people just do that. But we want to put a methodology in place that will help people build a career, not jump for fast money. By the time you go through 6 months with us, your mind is open. That way you can decide now if to do AWS, to do Azure, to do other stuff in IT. But this, our first basic class for 6 months, has been the game changer. From here, you can do anything else.
So I guess
please call me when I was not there. Can I talk sometime?
Yes, one moment. Go ahead, Justin.
So, well, I guess what I gain here is going to help me work in a hybrid environment more, you mean?
Exactly. So you have knowledge
Okay,
here.
Okay.
I've been solutions architect as well. I've worked with solutions architects, right? So I understand everything. Once you get into data, that is the beauty of IT. You can be a solutions architect today, then tomorrow you want to switch and do something in data management. You want to switch and do something in security. So you are doing the right thing for yourself.
Oh, thank you very much. I had flirted into security before coming to your institution.
Perfect.
So I will ask my questions more when I join you guys then.
Perfect. Yes, let's take Therese. Therese, are you there? Therese, you just came?
Okay, sorry, no, I was muted, please. Okay. Just to say a thank you. Actually, I've been working as a DBA for like 7 months now. And I've been looking for this SQL Server class for 4 months. Very difficult to get it. Very difficult. So I want to say thank you. And I just wanted to make a little slight comment based on what had been said before. Though you say you don't want to discuss tuition, please, I want to let everybody know. The SQL Server class or the DBA courses in the US, they'll range from 3,500 anyway to 6,000 because I've taken them. So I think you are very, very considerate that you are actually giving consideration for those in Africa who might not have the means. But if somebody is not taking this, they can also go check and see how much it will cost to take elsewhere. That's all I want to say, that you're doing a wonderful thing. And I thank you for the opportunity to let us take the class. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. So fulfilling. I thought I actually hurt some feelings by saying that we'll not discuss tuition. If I actually did that, I'm sorry, guys. But you all can see, right? This thing is gonna pay off. So just bear with us. Let me take Thierry, and I'll take Theodora. Thierry, are you there? Okay, Theodora, are you there?
Yes, so I'm here.
Okay, Thierry, go ahead. We should be rounding up in 5 minutes. I'm going to take the last hands that are up now, then we should be done. Yes, go ahead, Thierry.
All right. First, greetings to everyone. I have listened everything that you said. I was having a question regarding, I was having an intervention regarding Alain. So I want to come back on language to tell him, me as well, I'm not an English speaker, but I spoke many languages, English, Spanish, French, and a little of Chinese. So you can never say language will disturb you in everything or in anything in the whole world. We are learning each day. I heard about JoinIT Solutions on, I think it was on Facebook. Then I write, I don't know who joined me in the group. I was fascinated. I was reading every day, and I even do some research on Google about database to know what is it for, to know, to understand before we start the class. So I was very impressed. I will not say, anyway, I'm so happy to be in this class. I have seen a lot of pictures you guys send in the group regarding those guys that got a job and everything. And I have some, how can I place that? I want to be among the people that they post their picture, that they got a job. And again, I will come back on the tuition fee that they were saying in Cameroon is cheap. No, we cannot look like that. Different countries have their own economy. We cannot be in America and we compare with those in Cameroon or with those in Europe or whatever. Each country has its own economy. And me, I don't have any problem with the tuition fee, because if you guys have put the tuition fee in America at 3,000 or 4,000, it depends on our economy, because we know that even if you are doing an on-the-table job and you have an organization, you can just organize yourself anyhow you do to have your money each month to pay the 500. So I think that is very good, and there is a benefit for all of us. And really, I'm so proud of that talk. And I thank you so much. Thank you to give us to give us this knowledge. Thank you to take us with you to teach us, because me, I like and I love learning. I learned so much. Everything that going to school, I like to learn it. So that's how my life is. Each day I learn. Everything that I see everywhere, I must learn. So I'm so happy, and I will say thank you one more time to JoinIT Solutions for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. So I would like to have one of ours. This is Mr. Richard Jeffers. He's been a promoter of JoinIT. He's been to Cameroon. God, but he understands Cameroon, and I'm bringing in because if he can encourage you to take this training, why he's in the US, he understands the US economy, right? He has been to Cameroon. Just listen to him. If you read the chart, you see something he has written there, and it should make some sense. So, Papa J, go ahead and tell us, talk to our trainees. This is your second orientation that you are attending, and we always like to give you the floor to talk. So just tell us.
Thank you, Professor. This is Papa J. This is my Cameroonian name because about 7 years ago, I was able to go to Bamenda and experience the beautiful culture of Africa, specifically Cameroon. And I stayed at the home of Alain Nafour. And this is why I'm here today. It started almost 10 years ago with my son and daughter-in-law going to Cameroon. And it was interesting when Alain came to the United States, the tradition was you follow what your elders say. And his uncle wanted him to go into education. And Alain said, no, that's not my passion. He says, Papa J, what should I do? And I said, what is your passion? He says, I want to be a pilot or maybe do something else. And he came across this IT training course. And I said, do it. You know, the worst case is it doesn't work out. You can always be a professor like your uncle. But if it works out, maybe you'll change the dynamic of your entire family back in Cameroon. So Alain did it. And I can tell you everything they're saying on this call is true. It's hard for me to believe even today, though. 6 months, $3,000, you can make $100,000 and need no experience, hardly. That is baffling to me. And you don't need any experience? What? How can that be? You don't even need to know how to turn on a computer? That has to be a lie. But it's not. I've seen it. I've been to Alain's house. I know who he is, and he is truthful. He is honest. And one of the things I hear in this, questions is from a lot of people wondering about the fee. The fee is so insequential. It is so small. I mean, if they said $3,000 and you're going to make $10,000, I could understand that. And $3,000 and we hope you get a job? No, 80% success rate, unbelievable. Why? Because they don't just train you. They do all these other things for free. For part of the 3,000, you guys don't know what value you're getting. So quit asking all these minute questions and just sign up. 2 weeks free. You take it a month and you're paying monthly and you just stop. That's costing you $500. That's a very low investment or a loss that maybe, you can take. That's in the US. So I just want to say, I know it's hard to believe and the cost seems insurmountable, but it is not. And this is 6 months, not a 4-year degree. This is something that before you know it, you'll be done and you'll be looking for a new job, and JoinIT is going to help you. Further, I just want to say one thing. When I went to Cameroon, the culture there was very man-dominated, and the women were kind of not treated like they had any value, and they had to have a man. What I see this JoinIT for all you women out there, I believe in the equality of men and women. And the only way we're ever going to change the world and all the issues we have is that you now are making money and you can choose who your partner is going to be, because you have the power now to get a job and you're not going to be controlled by a man saying you have to do this. No, it's a partnership. And that's what JoinIT is. So I didn't hear many women complaining about the $3,000. All I heard was the men. The women, this is an opportunity for you to change the dynamic of Africa and the world, because we need you. You're 50% of the population. And it's amazing how smart you are and how brilliant you are. You just need a chance. And JoinIT is giving you this chance. So if no men sign up, good. All you women sign up and you can change the world. That's coming from Papa J, a white man from America, right? I believe in you and I want you to succeed and I want your families to succeed. And we can do that because now you're being able to come to America, but not forget about where you came from. Alen doesn't say, sorry, mom and dad, I'm not going to care about you anymore. No, he says, how can we make it better in Cameroon and all over the world? So let's start thinking that way instead of so short-sighted. Okay? Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you so much, Papa J. Thank you. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Papa J.
The support you've been giving us, right in the US. I know in Arizona, Alen is actually in your house now, and his success is actually, motivating to you to see a young man that you saw in Cameroon coming to the US and made you understand that he can make it without going through the school and, making six figures, the almighty six figures. I can tell you are very happy. And if you are not, you'll not come to sit here to be talking to people like this. You have seen the integrity in what we do. You yourself, you can say this is not a scam. This is not anything because you have seen it. You have seen people take trainings. You are a client of JoinIT. JoinIT is what we have worked with you on your website, on your product that you are bringing up. And if you can sit here and say that, then anyone should not doubt our capability. No one here should feel like we are coming here to do a marketing strategy for you to pay money. If that is our approach, we will tell you that pay your 3,000 now and go. We are giving you 2 weeks of training to make that decision. And when we talk about money, that is why you see it is not just our focus. Our focus is to build a community. That is why you see people with integrity like Papa J can come and talk to you. So let's get situated. Let's be ready to start classes. I think we are done. If you have any question now, put it in the group chat. Unfortunately, everybody could not talk, but again, the first day of class is the 30th. Normally, we'll provide you a lot of information we're going to be working on. Get your computer, fill out the application form, come on the first day of class, prepare to take a placement test, then we'll go from there. I would like to...
One last thing, Brian.
Yes, Papa J.
I'm so excited from hearing from Barbara and Vanessa and Vera. Even though I'm 63 and I'm old, I might take the class because if they can do it, maybe this old guy can do it.
Of course, Papa J.
There's hope. There's hope for Papa J.
I can actually teach you. Okay, do you all have any? I'll have one question to Papa J. Anyone have a question to Papa J? Yes, Clement.
Sorry, when is the day the class starts? What date? Sorry, it's not written there.
So it's on Tuesday the 31st. Yeah, I think it's the 30th. Alen will put that in the chat, right? Tuesday the 30th.
Okay, that's my question.
Okay. All right. No question, Papa. Yes, Bernardo. You are muted.
I'm sorry. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I got friends from Central America. So you guys don't reach in Central America?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so they want to join. It's like Nicaragua, Honduras. Yes, so I've told them about these, and they excited. So, and then they just want to join.
Good job. That's you empowering your community. So you can share the numbers with me in the chat. Helena, put up this thing. Put all your number on the chat so that Bernardo can reach out to you. He'll forward the numbers to you and you'll add them there. Guys, this has been the most interesting town hall we have had, right? We've been training for over 4 years. And even Vanessa, they will tell you this has been so interesting. It means that the information is actually going out there. We believe that we'll be able to tell you what we can do. We are not here to convince you. We are here to educate you and have you make informed decisions. We are not here to extract money from you, guys. So take this from me, right? We are here to empower you in building a community. Yes, Monibo.
Yes, my question is on the starting date. January 30 is a Monday, not a Tuesday.
So the first week, Alan, what was that?
It's a Monday.
No, then it's gonna be 31st. Sorry, it's 31st. It's Tuesday because clients are Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will put that in the chat.
Okay, 31st.
After this, we'll give a summary of what you have to do.
Would you send us a package of the schedule of classes after this?
Yes, so in a group, if you have filled out the application, you receive an email.
Long ago, I did that long ago.
Yeah, so after, within this week, you receive an email on what you need to do, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it off here. For those who did not talk, please, we'll have time, first day of class, bring your questions. You can call me, call Eleanor, call Alan. Our numbers are in the group chat, send a message. We'll be more than happy to help you. So at this point—
Brian, do you live in San Antonio?
Yes, I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, we close. I'm in Austin.
Right. So anyway, we have JoinIT students and instructors everywhere. You just need to tell me that I'm here. We'll direct you where to go. Okay. Yeah. I think one person did not. Is Chi Brian here? I think he dropped. So I'll give back the floor.
Excuse me, I have just a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just asking, like, after today, what you gonna do? You gonna send us like an email about the next step?
Yes.
Or
so all you need to do after today is to get your computer ready. Be prepared to attend classes on the 31st. That information will be sent out to you. Fill out the application form. If you have others that are interested, refer them to us. We'll put them all in the group. And on the 31st, our first day of class, more information will be given out to you all. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Guys, unfortunately, I would like to take all your questions, but this has been 3 hours, 30 minutes. Reach out to me, send your message in the group chat. I will pass this on to Alan for him to go ahead and close this.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Brian. Very important. I have sent now on this chat what you need to do if you are not on the WhatsApp group. It is right there. Click on that link, join the WhatsApp group. Any questions that you have can be answered on the WhatsApp group. Once again, it's been an amazing town hall. Like Brian said, this is the best ever. And we pray that it continues to be like this as we continue to grow and build this community. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining us everywhere around the world. And we'll see you when the training starts. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.